Hello, Collegiate Karting League. We are live with the D1 Finals. We have Waterloo Water taking on the FIU Panthers tonight. My name is Air Hockey, and I am joined by Wisp. Wisp, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic today. This is looking to be a really hyped up game. This is D1 Finals, This is the cream of the crop when it comes to primetime matches. And here we are. We have two insanely good teams. I am really excited to cast this match today. I think we got some good stuff coming up.
I absolutely do as well. I mean, this is the match of the season. You know, like
Pretty good
it is
players
D1
on.
Finals. It does not get better than this.
Stream pause for me at the moment. So whenever that's fixed, we can go ahead and switch over to the lineups.
Yeah, I do know for the lineups tonight, for anyone who watched the D1 semifinals, you are probably going to see a lot of familiar faces, especially on Waterloo's side. This is the team that took down last season, very beginning of the season. FIU put on a dominant performance against University of Michigan, and more recently, Waterloo was able to take a 2-0 win against University of Michigan. So both of these teams are absolutely capable of taking down the former top teams. So now it's these two against each other, and I honestly don't know who I would say is going to take it so far.
Yeah, we got some good stuff. I know I casted for the Waterloo match recently. That was Waterloo against Michigan, and it was a pretty it was pretty close, I'd say, in some parts of the matches. Waterloo definitely was very, very strong though, and I'm really interested to see how they're able to keep our back. That was small little, some technical difficulties, but it happens every now and then. We're back up and running. But I think we're ready to go over and swap to these rosters real quick because we got some good players on both of these teams. So we'll see who we got. So on Waterloo, we have Pickley from Team LinkedIn. We have Step. We have Boss Yoshi from the team Lumina Crash. We have Iona from Speedstars. Pretty notable. That is definitely their star player, as Sainsbury's is the team that won Division One in MK Universal recently, which is massive stuff. So very strong player from a very strong team. Now, FIU also has some really strong players that you should not sleep on. We have Diego Six from the team GGL, which is just BXH, but just rebranded. We have Gank from the team Lethal Vengeance. We have Green from the team Dynamite, who also made Daybreak. We have Milkshake from the team Pixel Perfect. We have Ted Bear from Origin, and we have Super MK from Volt Switch. So very, very strong teams here. And I'm interested to see, how well these teams are able to keep up with each other because we got some powerhouse players, most notably Ingite, who does have some D1 experience in MK Universal, and we have Green, who also has D1 experience. So it's really interesting to see that these players or these teams have players from the highest level of this game.
Yeah, no, it's a rare day to see a CKL match where maybe half the players are on an MK Universal team. This match with 10 is, I think, the highest I can ever think of in recent memory. And a lot of those 10 come from very high level teams as well. So I think it's absolutely going to be a battle. I would be shocked if we're out of here in 2 games.
Yeah, so this is, more than likely I would not expect this to be 2 games. If it's 2 games, that would amaze me because these are two super powerful teams. So expect this to be a long one. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up at a game 3 with a 3-hour stream.
Yeah, and of course, always worth mentioning because this is a finals match in playoffs, it is a best of three, and these teams have opted to play with the no repick rule intact. So we will be seeing 24, maybe 36 different tracks tonight.
Yep. So basically, these teams have to choose their tracks wisely because they can only play them once out of all 3 of these matches. So if, let's say, I pick DK Mountain in the first war, I cannot pick it again in matches 2 and 3. So you got to be pretty conservative, or you can be pretty smart and try to snipe the other team's track picks before the war ends if you think you're already set up to lose or win. So very, very strategic stuff you can do with your with your track picks. I'm interested to see how they're able to do it, just because we see lots of people that just try to use the other team's like primary track picks whenever like they're at a disadvantage, just so they can't pick them when there are in the spots to use them. So also we should be going into the matches right where it's 18 currently. Do we have any update on if we're going to be going into the match soon?
Right, I am checking with the players currently. It looks like, taking a quick glance, it looks like I believe they do have 12 players in the room, so we should be switching over any moment now.
All right, nice. So we have 11 people in the room. We're waiting on one more person here, but for FIU's POV, we have green. And do we know who we have for the Waterloo POV?
I believe we have Pickley for Waterloo. So our POVs for this game 1 will be Green and Pickley from FIU and Waterloo, respectively.
Yep. And also, do we know who is the host, like the room host for this?
Yeah, so FIU, as they're the 1 seed, they will be hosts for game 1, and then Waterloo will be host for game 2. And if there is a game 3, then FIU will get to host that 3rd game.
Yep. So knowing that FIU is the host of this room, that does mean that they are in first and probably a lot of these other top spots. So they are going to be able to start off with a pretty strong runner here. But we are looking at the Waterloo POV from Pickley. So we're going to see what track they end up going for. Wouldn't be surprised if they went up with like a solid like Shroomer or Drafter. So we'll see what they end up picking here.
No, because I know, at least in my mind, Mario Kart Stadium, interesting pick.
That's a track pick. Yeah, that's a pretty hard bagger. And it looks like FIU is starting out with top 4, which is super powerful. So, I mean, them going with Piranha Plant Slide here, very strong runner with lots of difficult shots that you can do, such as, like, it's not very difficult, but, getting the middle path with the coins, I mean, which can be difficult if you're surrounded by players that can bump you off. Getting the MT glider can also set you apart from other players, but this is Division 1 CKL, so I'm assuming a lot of these people know what they're doing. And it is looking like we are going to Piranha Plant Slide, and we are going to start off this best of 3 here. Oh, and it looks like we have Nicken from FIU. I don't think Diego 6 was able to make it in time. So a little bit different roster than what we saw there. But it looks like we are going to be starting this off. It looks like we already see a burnout from FIU here. So this gains 1 spot for Pickley here, but we'll see what he can do with it. But yeah, getting bumped out. This beginning is very claustrophobic. Yeah, he's getting bumped out instantly right at the start. But this does mean FIU is going to be getting a lead pretty easily, as Waterloo's highest spot is now all the way down to 10.
Yeah, no, and obviously this track is a runner first and foremost. It's great for running, but there is such a nice shroom cut at the end of the lap here. And it's so in the track too, especially lap 3, you can shroom up and pass people. There's not really much they can do about it, how close the finish line is. But you still have to get in that position first. We see Green's doing a really nice job getting a break, having Nana bomb in first. The perfect pull almost. Only thing else you can wish for is a horn instead of the Nana maybe.
Yep, that is a very powerful pull in first place here. And now Pickley is in 4th place with the Shroom, but Milkshake has a red behind him. He's getting that horn out to be aggressive, slow horns him. Got to be careful he doesn't get punished for that, but I don't think he is. Gank getting bombed. I think that was a bit of a lag bomb there. But it looks like we have, I think, Iona in 2nd, Pickley in 4th. Pickley has the triple Nanas in pocket, which is really good because now he can use this Shroom for the shortcut and have the Nanas out after, which is super good. Barely dodging Gank's Nana that was placed pretty tight on that turn. He is going to be taking the MT glider here, so we'll see him cutting up. Oh, he's barely not able to make it. Just too wide, and now he has a Shroom in 8th. Gotta watch out for all the people with stars here. Cutting back over to Green's POV. Looks like Iona was able to take over and is now in 1st here. Green dodging the back from Iona, unfortunately getting the 2nd place coin, and now he's gonna find a way to get some good items to get Iona out of 1st.
Yeah, because now all of a sudden, this track that's so good from one and have as a runner, all of a sudden the other team's got first place. You've only got one item set left. If you can't get rid of Iona soon, they just are going to get first. And look at the
Ooh.
minimap
Oh
too.
my gosh!
That's what
And
you
the
need.
smart
That's
bounce.
exactly what you need.
Yep, he sent that green very far up, and what looked like a miss ended up landing on Iona. The shock getting green and glider is pretty good, but we're going to see if people behind him got devastating items from the set. Pickley able to get a shroom and triple nanas from the double there, cutting up and gets 5th place here, but that is also a bottom 2 from Waterloo, so that might not be as pretty as it seems. That
That's
is
a
a
really good
top
race for FIU.
3 from FIU. That is super, super powerful.
Yeah, no, very good race. See, FIU also being able to recover as well, I think, is a really important thing. With missing Diego Six, one of their top lineup, they could still have such a good race, even after going from top 4 to only 1-3, even after losing first, Green managing to get it back from Iona and turn that into a really solid race. Again, I think it was a top 3, 6, 9, 10 in the end. So that should be
Yeah,
around almost, I think that's close to plus 20.
Yeah, that is a really, really good first race for FIU. Fantastic way to start out this best of 3 for them. Um, but yeah, it looks like we have FIU. They are up by 24 currently, which is an insane way to start out the war. And it looks like we have Waterloo going with Waluigi Stadium, also known as B-Dubs by the community. Very tech-heavy track that has a super powerful shroom cut at the start, and Rosalina's Ice World from FIU. And it is looking like we are going to Rosalina's Ice World from FIU, which is another really strong runner track. But again, that first turn can be devastating if you get bumped out.
I think that they got the start that they need, like I think getting the momentum in your favor on race one, especially if you might be a little bit rattled because you unexpectedly last minute are missing one of your top lineup. I mean, even we didn't know it was going to happen. This clearly was very last second. So getting a plus 24 at a start has got to be a great way to kind of do a vibe reset, make everyone a little less scared, and then be able to chain into another really strong runner.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, is also a wake-up call for Waterloo here, as this means like, hey, we can't be slacking just because they don't have Diego in lineup. Doesn't mean that we can like step off the gas any bit, because they're gonna need everything they can get if that's the race one we're starting this off with. Now, Pickley is in last year, which isn't too bad. They need some back presence here because yeah, it does look like first is from Green is starting to get a bit of a break here. Pickley is starting to weasel his way through the crowd here, having some shrooms in the mid pack. We'll see him cut up here along a lot of the other Waterloo players. But I can't really see who is. Yeah, Green is just in first, starting to get much.
That's
much
Green
more
in
break.
one, but a lot of Waterloo behind him.
Yep. Green sitting in first here. He's back in that Nana tight on the turn, assuming that the people behind him don't have reds. He's going ahead and getting rid of that Nana, and it looks like Milkshake is going to be lighting them up in the mid pack with that fire, but I don't think we get it connecting to too many people. Pickley opting to stay on the top path, and there is the blue, and that was definitely a Waterloo blue here because Green does not have a shroom or a horn to get rid of it. Stopping right before the boost panel, smart play, so he's not totally cooked after getting blued, and he's opting to take a shroomless version of the shortcut, not something you see too often, barely getting out that SMT so he can hop right through it.
I mean, like, you look at the minimap, even after taking the blue, Green's got such a gap to play with here. I think the question is, though, Green is fine. Like, Green's done his job. I think that got Green right in the set, so if that's an FIU shock, that's a very good shock by them.
Oh, he fell
That
dodged.
might have been FIU.
Yeah, no, he fall dodged that. Yeah, Green is doing fantastic right now, because normally he'd still be shrunk, but now he also has no protection because his protection was in his primary. It got ghosted. Oh no, his teammate's in second. So now
look at this breakaway he has as well.
Oh yeah, there's another blue, but that blue means absolutely nothing. He is going to be crossing that line just fine. Yeah, Pickley popping that ghost so he doesn't get hit by the fire, and unfortunately getting a coin from that ghost is not what you need. He's not going to be able to recover any spots. If anything, he is only getting passed here by people taking the shortcut, but
that is
I think
so
it was
many
only
FIU
his teammate,
tops.
so he's fine. Yeah. FIU, that shock was so top
wow,
5.
top 5-9 by FIU.
From FIU. That shock was everything they needed. Green played perfectly around that. Being able to fall dodge was perfect because he lost nothing from that. And he got himself into set, so he got the double box and had protection. So he was just not cooked whatsoever. He was perfectly fine. And now,
yeah, no, I still think even though, like, I'm still gonna hold fast on what I said at the beginning about I don't think this will be a 2-game set, even after these first 2 races, because all
Oh,
we've
for
seen so
sure.
far is 2 races with FIU on FIU's tracks in great spots for them. So I absolutely don't think that they can kind of calm down a bit yet. Honestly, I don't think Cheeseland is maybe as bad of a pick as it might look like here, because I think sort of implicitly hidden in every bagger is that it's a reset. I don't think there's a single good spot to start in on Cheeseland. And so just getting rid of the top 5-9 and saying like, oh, yeah, no, like great race, it means nothing for race 3 is a really good way to reset the tempo. But it's not going to
Yeah,
matter if
but
FAU gets
yep.
Nespo. So
Yeah, SNES Rainbow Road. Not a runner you see too often, but it is very, very powerful if you know what you're doing on it, just because there's no shortcuts to catch up on this track, really. So if you're gone, you are gone. It is super easy to run away on this track, and it's also super easy to fall dodge, as there are literally 0 walls at any point, except for this little starting pole thing. But um, yeah, this works really well for these top spots just because there's no way really for a lot of these bottom spots to cut up, but we'll definitely see Green. Yeah, he's taking that turn real tight there, opting to not go for the coins. His teammates are there behind him to protect him, so he can just sit in first with protection. No worry in the world. Oh no, he does have to worry now because he fell off the track and is now in ninth. But I mean, luckily his teammates were behind him because that is still FIU top 3, I'm pretty sure.
that double trick is that double trick and losing your drift there, that is such a common way to fall off, and it always gets you every time. He's doing a good job keeping very much in the mix though. He's in 8th with a lot of people in front of him. He could very easily come back up to 3rd. Just avoiding the thwomp there.
Yep, and we're switching over to Pickley POV here. He is in ninth, and right now we definitely see on the minimap, we see 2 of the Waterloo players in top 4 behind first place here. So we'll see what he's doing. It looks like Pickley chaining his star in the set here, pulls another one in pocket, which is fantastic. That's probably the best item he could have asked for there. And now we're switching over back to Green's POV, and he is holding a blue. So, I mean, it looks like I wouldn't be surprised if one of those FIU players might drop out, or if they lose first, they're chucking that blue immediately. But it looks like Green, he is just driving up to these top spots with this blue. Yep, and as soon as FIU loses first, chucks that blue right to Waterloo. But, I mean, I think Waterloo just has enough of a lead. This might be a
I
pretty
still think
solid race for
somebody from
them.
Waterloo is coming first here. Yeah, there's so many Waterloo up in the
Yeah.
tops.
This
Iona got hit out the
race,
line. That is going to help FAU a little bit, but they're still getting top 2 and 5. I think that's a guaranteed neutral race at the minimum.
yet, oh no, that's a gain for Waterloo.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, that's not really what I was expecting from them there, just because they were not in great spots to run this at all. But I think, Green kind of, playing with his food a little bit and ended up falling off the track pretty early on. Definitely was exactly what Waterloo kind of needed there. And that was a gain for them. And now the point diff is only minus 40 to FIU. So FIU still has a lead, but I mean, hey, Green he can't be, messing around like that. He can't be the goofball goblin. So he has to dial in a little bit.
There is also, I think, the other thing to consider of FIU has now used 3 of their tracks. Waterloo has used 0, so they definitely got a little bit more to work with. The Rock Mountain
wow.
counter pick.
That's
Cannot
insane.
believe that.
Now this is what I was talking about earlier and we are going to Rock as well, which is hilarious. But this is what I was
a Waterloo
talking
track,
about.
though.
Yes, this was talking about robbing the other team's track picks. Right now, Waterloo wants a really solid runner for these spots, but Rock Mountain is one of their main baggers, one of their main reset tracks. And it looks like FIU is using it now, so Waterloo can't take advantage of it later because this is, like, objectively one of their better tracks. So using it before they can is a very smart move from FIU.
And using it in these reset positions, because again, with Rock Mountain, the only item that really matters is like a triple shroom or a star or a golden. This is one of the few tracks where it's a bagger and you don't want to pull it. Like, it is actively going to ruin your race if you pull one, especially if you're in the back. You cannot catch up in the way that you need to. You need to be able to take this ultra cut, which I have to imagine we'll see somebody be taking lap 2 or 3.
Oh, for sure. But it looks like both of our POVs here are running Rock, which is not something you see too often just because of how powerful bagging is on this track. But that doesn't mean you can't have absolutely nobody in these top spots, because you need somebody at every position on this track. Or not on this track, just in every track. But it looks like Pickley has a horn in first right now, which is really solid just because people are in the back and these power items are going to be pulled, and blue is one of them. So having that protection is really good as long as you don't get redded out.
Yeah, and especially because, yes, this track is a bagger, but with how the item system works and it being distance-based, you need somebody to be at that distance to pull the power items. Otherwise, nobody pulls anything they need, and then you've now turned it into this weird pseudo-runner where nobody can really catch up in the way that they want. So I think this is definitely correct. I think it's a little surprising, and the shock as well, and you see, like, these top spots are so far away, but you're going to see that gap just start dwindling so quickly.
Yep, there's the blue. And also Pickley, who had that horn, ended up choosing to get hit by that red in the glider so he could keep his horn. And now it looks like Gank is getting blued here. So Pickley is going to be gliding, I think, into... Oh, no, I think Gank had something to protect the blue, it looks like. Oh, my God.
Just missing the pipe.
Barely too low and missed it. But, hey, now he can red out Milkshake, and Super ends up getting back by
And a triple shroom pull. That worked out.
Wait,
that
this is
worked
exactly
out
what
so
he
well.
needs. Oh,
That's what
no,
you have to pray for.
Green.
Green has triple shrooms in 2 as well.
No. Yeah, Green is in a fantastic position. Ingai needs to be pulling some really good items here to get Green out. He's going to need reds, but it looks like Pickley backing his red here, choosing to shroom
There's
up through this
shroom.
grass. Ingai got
There's
killed
2,
in the
there's
grass.
3.
It looks like to be a top 2 for FIU. There's another shock. Wait, we saw someone dodge. That was
right
Iona.
The red is still coming for Pickley, though.
I think
Iona's dodging. I think Iona's
Yeah.
getting second now. That looks like we're making up for second.
I think he's getting second, I think. I think he got second.
Looks like Waterloo 12, but I think other than that, a lot of Waterloo in the middle spots.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that wasn't too horrible for them, I don't think. We'll see what the point differential is looking like in just a second, but I mean, yeah, FIU, they got triple greens really high up. So even though that shock happened, green
Neutral
was
race.
pretty yeah. Oh, neutral race. Wow.
So I think in
Yeah.
a vacuum, that's like fine. I think even if you're losing a +0 race, I mean, by definition, it is like fine to have a +0 race. You just usually want them when you're in a lead. I just think the fact that Waterloo can't pick that in the spots where they are in spots for it and capitalize on and get what should normally be a guaranteed positive race for them, I think makes this honestly pretty bad. Or if I'm Waterloo, I'm a little bit worried because like even past this game, you've now lost one of your like kind of free instant resets that you can pretty much guarantee a good race on. That's now gone, and you're still down 40 points in game 1.
Yeah, however, I think this is still, this is the first GP still. So they have 2 whole GPs to still catch back up. So it is not completely over for them, obviously. And there was a whole game too as well. So
And they got their track pick.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to Moo Moo Meadows from Waterloo. So they finally got a track pick. So we'll see how well they can take advantage of this. But yeah, this track, we'll see how many people in these mid spots end up pulling shrooms and cutting up, because if you're able to, get pretty far on this track, I mean, you can kind of run away with it just because there is only really one, kind of shortcut on it. So you can kind of run away on it. You don't really want to bag on a track like Moo Moo Meadows with only one shortcut.
One shortcut, and more importantly, I would say only 2 item sets per lap instead of 3.
Yeah,
I would say it almost feels crazy to say considering Waterloo's history with pulling shots, but I feel like FIU has had the shock luck pretty heavily in their favor this match so far. So I think that might also be part of why they're choosing to go to Moo Moo Meadows and be on this track with 3 less item sets than normal to make it so much harder for FIU to get pulled.
Yep, and we see Green is taking care of business with these greens here. He's able to hit one of the Waterloo players out, and now it's all the way up to third. But Waterloo does have top 2 right now. However, I don't think that'll last much longer, with Green holding a shroom in third place here, barely dodging the fire, popping that shell instantly, and backing it into the item set as he pulls a horn in second here, which is super good. Gets backed by Ingai. That was such a tight back there, and it looks like Green was able to pop the horn there and horn a bunch of Waterloo players. However, it does look like the Iona, I think I can't tell who it was, or Ingai, has a plant up there.
I think that's Bird, yeah.
Oh,
it was a great horn, but it did now leave him trapped behind a plant, which isn't the best spot to be in. Breaking the red on the cow, very good.
Yep.
Now only like, it's Waterloo top 2 with a few mids after as well.
Yeah.
Might be top 3 even. And you're having
Yeah,
Shroom followed by defense.
Pretty solid. We'll see him, coming up on these last few turns. Green popping the star at the end. Maybe last
It's a
second
lot of
shots,
Waterloo
I don't
tops
think
right
so.
now.
This is looking to be really good for Waterloo. Was that top 4?
That might have been the top 4, maybe top. Yeah,
That's a top 4.
10-12
Wow.
is gonna mitigate the
Yeah,
damage a
but
little bit for FIU, but that is
that's
still a very good race. Cutting the
bringing
lead
it
in
down.
half.
Wow, they are really, they're making this work. That is a really good race for Waterloo there. Now bringing this point differential down to 22. So they're making it work. We're nearing the halfway point, and we're like actually keeping this really like a lot closer than I thought it would be. I thought we would maybe start to see a little bit leaning more towards one end, but I mean, based off the first 2 races. But I mean, looking at it now, Waterloo is swinging this more towards their favor, which is super interesting.
Especially also, quick small update. Diego 6 is in. FIU Nick is being subbed out for him. So both teams now have their full top lineup. The initial stated lineup they had for tonight, they now both have. There are now no excuses left for either team. Both teams are playing with their top lineup.
Yep. So now Waterloo, they just had this insane comeback on Moo Meadows, but now their lives have just been made a whole lot harder because now they have Diego 6 to deal with, which is like FIU's second best player. This is insane. So now they chose RWS or Wario Stadium as their runner-up choice here. So we'll see how well they are able to hold these top spots on, because this is a very tech-heavy track that is super easy to keep first on if you know what you're doing. And for someone like Ingite, who is D1, he knows what he's doing. So, I mean, this is definitely an ideal track for him.
That being said, that top 4 has already turned into just a 1-4 for Waterloo. It looks like they have some of the spots after, but you really want that top 2 to give your first place that much more security, let them start chaining for a horn. I think his stream up will help a little bit. I think, especially now with the gank having to worry about these triple nanas right next to his teammate, just going to drop them all. I like the call. Pickley's now defenseless in 2, though. If there's a red behind him, this puts Ingate in a lot of trouble. Looks like there was, yeah.
Oh no, and Green accidentally trailing gank there is also super unfortunate, but I think that does mean Pickley ends up gaining a spot there, and Green has a Shroom in second. So, I mean, this is looking, and triple reds from Boss Yoshi there. The blue is out, and it looks like it's going for Waterloo. So it looks like they were able to take over Green at the last second. There's the ghost. Triple Danas are out for Pickley.
And Ingate is still barely cleaning the first. It's back and forth. That red, though, I think is going to give it back to Ingate. It's only top 2-4 for Waterloo, plus some mids as well. Very good spots for them still. That fire. Boss just made his drive. Still has his trail as well.
And Boss Yoshi's still alive. That fire was not up, and he still has the trail. And it looks like, Green is yielding to gank, and gank is lighting him up. And there goes Boss Yoshi. He is down. And we got quad shrooms from Green here, as we're going to see him shroom up. I don't think this will be enough to take over Ingite at the end. But, I mean, yeah, dodging that bomb, he is not going to be getting first here, but I think he can definitely still secure second place here if all goes to plan.
Yeah, there is a lot of Waterloo in the middle right now. FIU might have recovered this into a good race. I think if Waterloo gets like 5 on, I don't know. I think that's neutral or close to it.
Really close.
I think that might be a slight gain for Waterloo, but we'll see. Oh, it wasn't.
Wow, that was a +2.
Jeez.
+2 for FIU. That is really close. Wow, this is going to be an intense best of 3, y'all. We have passed the halfway point, and FIU is up 24 on Waterloo. So, it's be pretty close, and we'll see how well FIU can maintain this lead, just because it is really close. They had some good races at the start, but with Waterloo creeping up on them, I can definitely see that getting into their heads.
Yeah, no, that gap has shrunk from 58 down to 24 now. And even with having a slight gain just there on Wario Stadium, I mean, still, the lead is you're not at that magic number of 40. Like, you could lose this lead in one race. And what I was getting about Wario, too, in very good spots for it, with FIU having so many spots behind first.
Yep, we'll definitely see some people be pulling shrooms from this first set. That's all in the mid-pack, so we'll probably be seeing some people cut up right in this little turn section. And we'll see how well that these people that cut up, we'll see how well they can hold these top spots. All right, so now we'll also definitely see the people that don't take the shortcut draft off of each other just because the pack is kept pretty close. Green popping that trail instantly, showing aggression. We'll probably see him maybe toss this up towards Iona, barely missing him. And, you know, Iona still holding on to first place there. We're approaching into Section 2 here, so we'll see how much longer he can hold on to first here because, you know, it is going to be kind of difficult when you have a player like Green behind you. And it looks like Green getting hit out and horning the entire lobby.
Sequence, and there's still a bomb in Green's inventory is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's shelling it.
And right
really
behind the fire too. This is.
Oh wow.
This is a little bit. There is a lot of
down to
mutually
chuck
assured
it up.
destruction. Oh my god.
Wow,
Oh my
Green
gosh.
is just playing with his food here with the items. There is so much going on. Oh, and Waterloo is holding a blue right now.
Yeah, they're holding blue for their Waterloo first as well. I mean,
yeah.
Pickley might be resigned to holding blue here, but the trade-off is a guaranteed first for your team. That's absolutely a winning trade.
Yep, and it looks like we have Green who popped the ghost, streaming up in third place here. Gotta watch out for Ingite Imstar behind him. He is holding on to that trail, and Iona still holding on to first place here. Green is gone, Gank passing him. So we'll see what happens here. I think, yeah, right now, Waterloo only has first place right now, so Pickley holding onto that blue is very valuable. Green pulling double dodge in fourth place here is insane. Popping that star.
That's invincibility for the rest of the race.
Yep, he is invincible, but right now, that is looking like everything behind first for FIU.
Waterloo needs a shot to turn this around and make it a good race. Looks like blue might be going for... I think blue's skipping. I don't think anyone's getting glued.
Yeah, I also think that first place went to FIU. Yep, Ted Bear taking over first place there. And that is bottom 3 for Waterloo. That is not a winning race for them. That is tough. This is, yeah, now the point differential is leaning even more towards FIU right now. We are now approaching the final GP. So we'll see, you know, Waterloo, if they need to start, like, you know, lock him back in because, I mean, I know having Diego 6 on FIU side is going to make this infinitely harder for them. So we'll see how well they can take care of that.
Yeah, no, they've got 5 more races to make up 46 points. So it's definitely doable. And I definitely wouldn't even say it's hard even to make up 50 points in 5 races in a war. I think it's just a matter of, at a certain point, do you maybe cut your losses and say, like, okay, FIU has gotten a lot of track picks. Let's just get rid of even more of their picks and just make sure they have nothing to work with for match 2, match 3, and just make up our 2 points there.
Yeah, and it looks like FIU is opting to go for Music Park as their runner of choice. But it looks like we are going to Waluigi Stadium from Waterloo here, which is a pretty strong shoom-up track. And considering they have like bottom 3, almost bottom 4, they need something that they can take over really well on. And this is just a skill. You can say it's a skill diff track, but when you have teams at this high of level, I don't think there's really that many skill diff tracks. So, I mean, right now, this is just a shroomer that they need so they can take over the top spots once more. Yeah, Pickley getting unfortunately bumped out, sitting in the back here with some of these FIU players, but it looks like they were already able to get first pretty early on. So I don't know how much longer that will last, considering people are streaming through this shortcut here.
Yeah, it does look like there's a lot of FIU behind that Waterloo first, and I feel like we've seen this story the past couple of races, and it's not been working out for them. Even when they hold first, you know, they still have a -2 race. And, like, maybe in a vacuum, that's okay, you know, especially if, like, Waterloo's up or if it's a close war, -2 is fine. But it's not right now, especially with 5 races to go, being down 46. Yeah, we see people like Ted who are sitting in the back there, going for those power items. Green Star is getting ghosted, unfortunately. And he's showing the triple shrooms, triple greens in 5th place right now, which is pretty solid. We'll see him cut up here, gain 2 spots, passing Diego. Oh, no, he's not. They're streaming up as well. And there's the blue, hitting out one of the Waterloo players from the blue on the ground. And looks like they didn't have something to dodge with.
So now FIU is taking over these top spots green, getting rid of those greens there. Gotta watch out for the other triple greens that are nearby. That is Iona alone in the top with 2 sets of triple greens behind him, which is insanely scary.
Yeah, I feel like so many times we'll see like Waterloo can maybe grab like 1 or 2 at the beginning, and then FIU's just got all the bagging spots. They'll get the shock, they'll get the blue, and then it so quickly becomes such a good FIU race. I mean, it's been working for them 7 races in a row. Currently in 8th, a second blue already as well, like even more so. I mean, this formula is working for them. I don't think there's much of a reason to stop it. I mean, as soon as I say that, I see still Waterloo back up in 1-3 and a couple mids after as well.
Oh, but I think one of them got bombed out. We see Pickley in 9th here, getting backed by the greens, which is really unfortunate. It is lap 3. He's going to have to try to make up as many spots as he can, popping that star for invincibility for the rest of the race here. He's probably able to pass Diego here at the end, starring him
On the cut. Such a brutal spot to get started in.
Yep.
I think that wasn't FIU. It's Waterloo 1-3.
Yeah, 1-3, 7 through 9. And last, we'll see what this is looking like.
That should only be a single-digit loss, but I think it
Even.
is still a loss. Oh, wow.
That was even. Which, I mean, now we are in the last GP, which, going into the last GP, FIU is up by 46, which for Waterloo, it's not impossible, but it's going to be difficult. So they're going to have to really push it into overtime here because they're going to need some really good races to push this into their favor. And it looks like Pickley pondering on what track Waterloo wants here, going with DK Jungle as their runner of choice. And it looks like FIU is going to be going with Sherbetland, which is a pretty solid drafter, which, I'd say is a pretty decent pick for the amount of mid spots they got. And it looks like we are going to FIU's track. Honestly, we are getting a lot of FIU track picks here.
Yeah, no, and I'm not sure at this point how many of these picks are necessarily FIUs. I feel like there's a bit of a game they may be wanting to start to play now of like if they can get one more positive race, they probably want to try to burn a Waterloo track or two. Because I also know like in getting our stream set up and stuff before this, I was watching Pickley stream a little bit, and he's been teaching a lot of tracks, and we have not seen a single one get played of the like 5 or 6 he was playing. So I know Waterloo definitely has more firepower like left in terms of tracks right now. It's just like there's now this bit of a gamble of if that's maybe their angle of like we're just going to burn everything FIU has game 1 and then use all our stuff games 2 and 3, does that work? And we will know the answer to that in a couple hours. But I think these races right now can make a big difference because I think if they can pull out a win here with FIU definitely spending more tracks, that makes their lives so much easier.
Yep, and here on Sherbetland, we see a pretty broken up pack here. I mean, you have a majority of players here, all clustered up in that top 9, and bottom 3 was pretty split apart. But it looks like it's mainly bottom 2 now. You see Pickley in 6th place here, and that is a lot of red in the top, which is Waterloo. So, and we see a shot right before the set. Green was able to dodge. He's making up a ton of spots here, passing all of these Waterloo players. This is going to put him in 1st place here with 2 shrooms. He is opting to use both of his shrooms. So if there is a blue on this last lap, he now has nothing to dodge it, which is a little scary. But now he knows he has defense in 1st. And he has one of his players behind him. I think that is Diego. So, I mean, that is really good position for them.
Yeah, no, there is still one more lap. Definitely a lot of room for things to change. But, I mean, things kind of have changed. It was Waterloo top 4. I looked away for 20 seconds, and now it's a FIU top 3, I think. Maybe even top 4. It does look like Waterloo has just about everything with a couple exceptions behind 3, and blue coming out as well, especially in this spot. You see now there's so many dodges as well from Waterloo being used. There's a bill getting used in like 6. First place got blued. I don't think it's going to matter. Seeing the Sherbet... The glider!
The glider, dude!
The Sherbetland glider!
Dude. You never get to see the glider.
And starring an FIU player too for it. I still think that is going to be a very good race for FIU.
Yeah, dodging. Wow.
Yeah,
top
really
3,
good race.
5. I mean, bottom 2 hurts, but that top 3, 5 is powerful. I mean, dodging, getting green to dodge that high up and just able to, speed through all of those Waterloo players is fantastic for him. And now he is sitting pretty. And it looks like Waterloo is picking Dolphin Shoals out as their reset track of choice here, which is a pretty strong drafter and also has a lot of really good catch-up potential, especially with the amount of like bill. Well, I mean, it's 2 bill extensions, but they're really good bill extensions. And personal favorite track of mine, Ninja Hideaway. I know there are some people that I'm friends with that may or may not be watching this that are tired of hearing me talk about Ninja Hideaway, but this is a fantastic track in my opinion. Very high skill ceiling, and if you know what you're doing on it, you can run away with it. And it looks like we are going to Dolphin Shoals from Waterloo. So we'll see how well they can, take advantage of a track like Dolphin Shoals, because honestly they need it, because they are down 60 with 3 races left. So they need every bit they can get.
Yeah, these kinds of comebacks can absolutely happen. 20-point races, we've seen them a few times, even in this war alone. I think we've had 3, if I'm counting right. It can definitely happen. It just, they need to happen all in a row, and Waterloo needs to be getting them every single time.
Yep. Now it looks like we see Pickley with no item here, opting to go through the middle, kind of avoiding all the traffic of everyone going to the right there. Unfortunately, though, gambles on going for the right double and ends up not getting it. It's pretty detrimental, but honestly, it's Dolphin Shoals. Green stopping for that bomb just to obliterate everyone is crazy. Backing that green into the path there, and now he is in fifth with a horn and in green. Opting just to use that horn now in hopes of getting a Waterloo player out, but doesn't look like it can.
There's a lot of Waterloo, I think, that might have gotten hit off the glider, but it is a Waterloo top 2 with a lot of mid spots as well. That being said, this track very much is a bagger, but if you can't pull shock, it is almost impossible to catch up.
Yep, we see Gank backing up, going for coins here. We see Pickley, who's goldening up in a start, and he has shock in pocket right now, which is what he needs.
The shock is out, FIU can see it.
It's in play. Popping the shock now, getting green right before the set, but also their top 2 is getting shocked right before the set as well. And now Pickley has a star in 6th. He is popping that star now, going to be trampling through all of these FIU players in front of him, and that is a top 2-4 right now for Waterloo. He is shrooming up, but now he has to be careful. There are triple greens behind him, and he is slowing down. He thinks he's going to try to get that plant out. And now he is in 5th right now. Top 2 is getting a bit of a break from Waterloo here. So we'll see how well they can hold on to it. Triple shrooms is a pretty nice pull. We have Green in a star in 6th place here. He's going right through the middle here with Ted Bear in front of him. I'm going to opt for these left doubles here. Looks like both FIU players are getting the doubles. And now Waterloo, top 2, still has that much more of a break. And it looks like Pickley is just dead to Milkshake's triple reds here.
There's so many shells around him.
Yeah,
I don't know how he's still in 4th, but those top 2 from Waterloo are gone. If Pickley can hold on to 4th, it's automatically a good race. He might be able to steal 3rd here even.
Ooh,
I think that's a 1-3-4 then, I think. Something happened to, I think that was whoever their second was on the line. I think. Yeah.
Milkshake
1-3-4-6 is still going to be a good race for Waterloo, but not the race that it could have been.
Nope. They're gonna need a lot. Yeah, that was a plus 10, which is good, but they're gonna need like 2 plus 26 races to really.
They need a couple big races, and if I'm Waterloo in this spot, I personally feel like I maybe just try to start burning FIU tracks. I don't really know how I'd handle it if I was FIU, but also I am not any of these players. It does look like FIU is picking Ninja Hideaway. That is very much a Waterloo track. So FIU is deciding to try to burn Waterloo picks. I don't know who picks Dragon Driftway of these 2 teams.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who picks Dragon Driftway, but it looks like we are going to Ninja Hideaway from FIU. So we'll see how well they can hold these top spots here. I do like seeing the Ninja Hideaway. You don't see it too often. I'm a big fan of it. But yeah, if Waterloo doesn't do so hot on this could go ahead and mark the match 1 win for FIU. So Waterloo right now, they are on the chopping block. They are going to need a really solid race to put this in, somewhere in the realm of possibility of them, swinging this into a win.
They need at least a plus 12 just to keep afloat in this war. That's just to keep it under the plus 40 with 1 race to go that FIU needs to guaranteed win. They need to have 2 good races in a row. Any margin for error at this point is gone.
Yep. So now they just have to be on top of it right now. We see Iona in first place here, and Green, who is in second. He is trying to stay as close to Iona as he can. Just trying to, have pressure on him. And he's chilling with this June in second here, has a Green in pocket. And it looks like we're going to see him take the Nisk here as well. No, he's opting Shroom through it. Yeah, trailing that Green, asserting some pressure, and it looks like that is a lot of pop shots, I think, from FIU. The mini map looks like to me.
Yeah, that's a lot of bottom spots for Waterloo. Here.
He is in fifth. Yeah, they're going to need something pretty lucrative to happen just to swing this in their favor.
I mean, shock on this track definitely can do a lot, especially timed right. Like, right after the glider, that shock spot is horrible, especially, like, if you can catch people at the right time with it. It is very much a matter of timing, and I think FIU might be just spread out enough that they can't really get the perfect shock they maybe want. Blue's out, though, and Green's not in great position. I think Super's going to be taking it with the Shroom.
Yep. Oh! Wow, getting shock blued in the glider. Pickley dodges.
That was a Pickley pretty high up dodge. I don't...
I
think there's too many FIU up here, especially with this plant now. You're kind of... Diego 6 kind of kidnapping Enor and Pickley until this plant is gone. I think it's going to be too little too late. They might be able to make up some spots, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah,
so Waterloo first.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. It's Waterloo first, and I think a 3-4.
See what it's looking like here. Ooh, yeah, that's not going to be enough, I don't think, to push this into Waterloo's favor here.
Yeah, I think 1-4-5 said, yeah.
Yeah, that seals the deal right there.
That will confirm.
That gives the win of match one to FIU there. It was a gain for Waterloo, but not enough. And even then, even if they were able to gain, they would have to get an insanely good race 12 to just win. I mean, it was looking really rough for them there, and now it is looking like this match goes to FIU. And now in this position, they just need to burn the opponent's tracks so they don't have them for the next match.
Yeah, I've heard from chat that apparently Green of FIU does really like Dragon Driftway, so I think this is now both teams trying to counterpick the other. And to take a quick detour in other CKL news and updates, D3 finals between Michigan State and Texas State are currently happening. They have currently started Game 3. It is 1-1. Michigan won Game 1. Texas State won Game 2. They are currently on Game 3. I believe there are a couple races in. That one's been very intense. I caught a glimpse of it earlier. In sort of the intermission between these first two races, I'd absolutely recommend taking a look if you get the chance.
Yep. Lots of good stuff going right now in CKL. Lots of finals. So keep your eyes peeled for the winners of each division. So now we are on Berlin Byways for the last track of the first match in this best of 3. And yeah, we see, wow, Pickley just getting trailed out instantly. Popping this red in second place here. In 12th place. We are now switching to Green's POV, who is in third place right now. He has a red in this mid pack here. Not really mid pack, in the front. Opting to toss it up here at Ingai going into this set. And yeah, he's just kind of just, I guess he can play with his food here like he wanted to earlier, and just because it is already in their favor. So yeah, opting to stay in the back here, getting his money up, popping on smart steering as well. Looks like Pickley is in this mid pack here. We see someone on Mario as well with the leaf tires, which is funny.
A lot of people on Mario now.
Diego.
Yeah, no, these sort of race 12 situations where you've already won, especially like the track pick you can't really do much to actually affect the track pick. The only thing you can really do is kind of get in the other team's head. Like, you can swap to a troll combo or whatever. That's all well and good. One of the better ways you can send a message, especially if you're getting the other team's pick, if you can get a good race, just kind of rattle them a little bit and like don't give them that chance to sort of have like a whatever race to reset, and just remind them like, hey, like we can beat you on your tracks. I think that's sort of what FA can do, and I think that's probably what they should go for here. Like, obviously, just mess around, have fun, enjoy the game 1 win, but also like lock in. You got to play 2 more games. Because if you go and have a bunch of fun now, and now all of a sudden becomes a little bit embarrassing if you lose games 2 and 3.
We see Green
Nice 180
doing a
though.
bit of trolling here. He stopped a little bit to use that build to try to get one of the players, and just uses a build in third. Not something you see every day, especially on a track like Berlin Byways. He is in second place now. He's gonna cut up here. He's gonna top that red, and he is sitting in a pretty high spot. Yeah, not able to kill Ingot at the last second, and that is going to be a first place for Waterloo here. He is going backwards on the line, again, playing with his food here, doing whatever he wants. He knows that win is going to him for match one.
That was a
And that
summer
is
switch up
going to
reference
be
there with the 180 direction change at the end. Uh,
for real. And now there you go. There goes match one to FIU. Now all the tracks that we saw here are not going to be able to be chosen in this next match. So you won't see any more Piranha Plant Slide, no Ninja Highway, no Berlin Byways, none of that. You will not see it in this next match. So all unique track picks, which is what makes this interesting. So yeah, good stuff from both of the teams here. And it looks like Pickley going straight to the TTs after that. And it looks like Waterloo lost to FIU by 38. Still very good performance from both teams here. And now Waterloo, they're going to have to do whatever they can to net them this win to push this to a game three. This game two matters a ton to both of the teams here.
yeah, no, because for FIU, they can just close it out right now. For Waterloo, if FIU burns a good bit of tracks and then loses here, all of a sudden it gets a little bit scary for FIU because they're going to be a little bit thin on tracks at this point. I think we've definitely seen them play a lot of their picks. I'm trying to go back in my head and remember how many times Waterloo got their track pick, and I think it was only like 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah, so yeah, they unfortunately I don't think, Waterloo had the best of track luck there, but I mean, hey, they were able to, make it work on some of these races. Obviously, getting Diego 6 halfway through was not ideal for Waterloo there. FIU getting that was insanely good. But yeah, insanely good work from both these teams here. I'm really interested to see how game 2 goes. Got any last words?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm thinking back on it. FIU's overall performance from the time of having Diego 6 on, I think actually was a slight loss. I mean, we saw from those first two races getting up about 50, 60 points, they then proceeded to slowly lose about 20 points over the rest of the war. So I think it's definitely a lot closer than I feel like it may seem. Just because you could look at it and be like, oh, like FIU was missing one of their best players for half the match, and then they still won. I don't necessarily know if either team should really feel either hopeless or confident. I still genuinely believe we will be here for 2 more hours.
Yeah.
But that being said, the people who will be taking you through those 2 hours will not be us. This will be it for us for game one. Uh, Joining you guys for games 2 and potentially 3 will be Labob and Angle, who will be taking you guys into game 2 after this intermission. So that being said, thank you for watching game 1. Please stick around for games 2 and maybe 3, and continue to have a great night.
Adios, y'all.
Welcome back, guys. That was a very, very close and interesting match one, and I'm here with my good buddy Angle, and we're here to cast an equally as amazing match two. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, that was a very, very close game one. It really could have been anyone's game, but especially FIU being able to sub in Diego really helped them out a lot. But either way, it is still pretty much anyone's game, especially with these best of threes. No matter what. So, what do you think?
It's going to
What do you
be
think is going to
interesting.
happen in
I
game two?
know that Waterloo is no stranger to adversity. There is a lot of experience on that roster. However, say one big thing is it felt like, and this was mentioned by Wisp and Air Hockey, was that it felt FIU had the favor of the gods with all their shock luck. Um, if Waterloo can gain some of that shock luck back and start pulling more when they need, I think Waterloo could really force a game 3 here. And I would not at all be surprised if it turned into a game 3.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like if Waterloo just adjusts their play style just a little bit, just to handle what FIU has been doing in that game one, they can definitely turn this around. I mean, they have the capability of doing so. They just really need to pull it off here,
Because if
especially.
you are Waterloo, this is it. You don't get another shot. You have to set yourselves up for a game 3 situation, and in FIU, you want to close it out here because if you go into a game 3, Waterloo is going to have the momentum. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of what they say. This is a very apples and oranges examples, but isn't there some statistic like the team that wins game 5 in a 7-game series of a playoff usually ends up winning the whole thing?
Something like that. But it's this one's only 3 games, so you really got to put your best foot forward here and right now. FIU's got a little bit of leniency now because they have that game advantage, but they still can't let Waterloo get too much of an advantage, because if they get the momentum into game 3, it might they might be home for them.
Yep. And oh boy, I'm hoping that this game turns out to be as interesting as game 1 and also as interesting as the semifinals were, because those matchups between Waterloo and Michigan were very, very close. Game 1 was very close, as after those first couple missteps for Waterloo, they kept a very even war throughout the entire game 1. I don't think it really fluctuated much from that plus minus 40. And looks like the competitors have gotten underway.
Yeah, it looks like we're on DKJ right now. I don't know whose track pick could have been. I wasn't sure who's actually hosting the room, but right now we do have Pickley over here in 6, 5-6 with a star in 6. It looks like I believe FIU are the Black Yoshis, and they already do have a solid break in top 2. But Waterloo is in 4-5-6, so they are not in a terrible position, especially with the star here. Don't know if they have a shock or not. They
Yep.
do. So dodging in 6 is really good for Pickley here. Going to be able to cut up and probably take over first here with some shrooms. Unfortunately, no defense, it looks like. Oh, never mind. They do have a red shell, so they're in a very good spot right now. But FIU still, I believe we just went back in time. Or did we go forward in time?
No, this is back in time.
We went
I was
back
going to
in
say, this is Waterloo's track. So, because they were hosts, and I imagine that they picked this for one. Yeah, the streams are a little bit desynced, so that'll get fixed behind the scene by our lovely stream host. Pickley is able to secure that one after the shock. I wasn't quite able to catch to see where the other spots were. I think that I saw 1-4.
It looked like a 1-4-6-7 for Waterloo. A bunch of kind of higher mids. It looked like, so it should be a Waterloo
1-4,
game.
6, 7, 9, 10
Yeah,
for Waterloo, which that has got to be a gain.
Yeah, especially with FIU getting bottom 2, that is definitely a gain for them. And you can see Waterloo picking TikTok Clock, Solid Runner, and FIU picking Sky Garden, which I think is one of their signature tracks. I believe they really like Sky Garden, I think.
Yes. And as the great overlay shows, it is a +6 for Waterloo and able to chain one runner right into the next.
Yeah, I think we're all settled in now, so now we can properly see what is going on. But I mean, this track honestly is okay for 3 of them. Both of them have decent top spots, especially with FIU having 2 and 3. So if you get bumped off of this section here because just like that, now Waterloo has a pretty good run going here because of FIU falling off. But it is the start of TikTok Clock. The pack is going to be very mixed right now. So
is the pink Yoshi Waterloo? No, it's not. I see an orange Yoshi. Green, what are you doing?
What is
I think he might just be trying to go for shock and coining up here, but he's certainly doing it in style.
Yeah, I mean, falling with style, Buzz Lightyear style, I guess. But
I think FIU, looking at the minimap, Does Pigley get double redded here? Yes, that's what we saw. I think he still manages to hold one after that. Milkshake pressuring him in two. He's itemless because of the double red, so Pigley should not be able to get hit out here. Waterloo in a 1-3-4? 1-3-4 in some mid spots. Just make sure those back spots, keep an eye on 11 and 12 to make sure there's no shock. We haven't seen a blue shell yet, so that could definitely flip the tides of this race, but this is looking to be a very strong position for Waterloo to be in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they picked this runner for a reason, and it's because they can run it very well. But, you know, what concerns me is that if they don't have the back presence, FIU is going to, you know, really punch them for not having any back presence, and they might pull a shock or a blue. But, you know, so far, it is the end of lap, or start of lap 3, and oh, okay, so Waterloo is holding the blue shell, so that does secure that one for them if there is no shock. But FIU still does have some back presence, so if they do pull it at the end, it could be devastating, but Waterloo has a pretty solid top 3 going right now.
Yeah, and a consequence of holding the blue shell for so long is because there can only be one blue shell, you affect the item pools in bottom spots, so shock is statistically more likely to be pulled. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen.
Oh,
That
damn.
was a tough back, and that's going to be 1-3-4 for Waterloo. It looks like, okay, that is Ted Bear on the white Birdo. Yeah, Ted Bear snuck up into the top spots. But Waterloo off to a strong start here in game 2.
Yeah.
Interesting 5-way tie for fourth place.
Mid spots of doom and despair, I guess. But, yeah. Waterloo already starting off hot, and this is exactly what they needed. They need to get the momentum going in their favor and, you know, shut down FIU's momentum, and they're doing that very well. But, you know, one FIU track pick could really just turn this around. But we'll see. We'll have to see how it goes.
It's kind of sad to know that I missed my chance to cast the last Waterloo Rock race of the year, because FIU managed to take it away in game 1, and everyone knows, almost to some extent. I don't know if it's like a Waterloo thing, or a Speedstars thing, or just a Canada thing. They have that track figured out. I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be just the Canadian sense or something, because it looks like there was a DC. That's unfortunate.
Who is that DCing for Waterloo? I mean, I see Iona and Pigley's knees. We are going to be on the Garden in the Sky. So FIU, it kind of sucks to say, but this is their chance to kind of take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see, especially in playoffs, especially in finals. But, you know, I mean, they are strong enough. You know, with Sky Garden, at least you can kind of rely on a little bit of luck, because, you know, shock is pretty good on this track. But, you know, with that CPU, there's just, you know, there's not as much you can do.
Hey, Diddy Kong can be a D1 player if he wants to.
That's true. Oh, someone
Not
on,
the intended target of that green shell, I believe, but it worked out.
Yeah. So it looks like Waterloo's all the red Yoshi, so that makes it easier. But they, you know, they already do have a solid top 3 going, so, you know, even with the CPU, this would be a gain. It actually looks like the CPU is pretty up there in the pack, so, you know, this might not be too bad.
Oh, didn't check for
Fourth.
space for his teammate there. That's tough. I think green is for sure. Oh, well, I was going to say he should be in 1 here at the end of the lap, but I think he might still be in 2. Yeah, he'll be in 2. But
Yeah.
Shroom triple greens behind 1 is a really solid spot.
Yeah, for sure. He could be very aggressive with these greens and try to hit out 1, or he can just hold them and try to protect himself. But it looks like he's going to try to be aggressive here. Does not look like any of them are going to connect, but he's going to be able to get the red off into the double. Double nanas is not what you want to see in second, though. Oh, shock
Was that
does.
a bot shock? Because there was only 1 dodge. It could have been an FIU shock, but that seems like a weird place for it.
Yeah, I don't know, but it looked like the bot was kind of in the mid spot. I don't even know if the bot was in a shock spot.
Oh, that's
but
a really good pull for Pigley.
yeah.
That top 2 Waterloo?
All getting
Oh,
ready
read
on
it
the
on
line
the
is
line. It's going to be
unfortunate.
1-4? Yeah, 1-4.
I mean, considering Waterloo had a bot, it wasn't the worst race. You know, you'd take a 1-4-7-8 on FIU's track pick, especially on like Sky Garden, which is one of their best tracks. You take that.
Even with a bot, that is only a small loss there.
Yeah, they only a -4. They handled the bot pretty well, but hopefully whoever DC gets back in the room in time for the next race.
And surely between all of Skygarden, the Waterloo player managed to sneak back in. I think I count 12 in room.
Yeah, there is 12.
Yeah. Two very personal favorite track picks of mine. Love Seven Bow. Although Super MK on FIU might have a little bit of practices. That's a Volt Switch pick right there. Going to be on Grumble. So FIU getting another one of their. Is Grumble like a draft? It's a drafter reset track, right? Somewhere like that.
Kind of like that. You can shroom up on it. It's not the great running track, but it's pretty good for 2-3.
It's also pretty good for mid spots because if I remember correctly, coins are pretty hard to come by on this track.
Yeah, there's not that many coins on this track, so if you can get your coin count up really quickly, you can easily just break away from the pack.
Ooh, kind of the reverse pulls from that set right there. Ingai 1 pulling the Nana, and Green and 2 getting the coin.
Yeah, we love the item distribution in this game, right?
Oh yeah, second place coin, my beloved.
We already see Waterloo has been doing pretty good at keeping a top spot from the beginning of the race. It looks like they might be top 2 right now, with Pickley going to be able to start a little bit of a break in 1. Yeah, it looks like they're top 2. Never mind, they still are top 2 because that red lagged, and Green getting punished for throwing that red. So now Waterloo's going to be able to take a lot of top spots here.
I mean, to be fair, if I was Green, I sure would have thought that red shell was not going for. Actually, no, it did go for Pickley because Pickley had the banana, so he would have been able to defend it anyways. But I'm guessing Ingai just kind of appeared out of thin air. Oh my lord!
I had my experience with double bombs in first, but this is a pretty good pull for Pickley here.
I mean, what? You sure? What makes you say bombs are good in first?
I mean, if the enemies ever gets in 2, they're pretty done for. Although a blue shell would be not too great.
I'm actually a blue shell. Did Pickley drop out there from 1, or did he? No, he's still in 1. But that is a huge top 2 break. For,
yeah. Oh.
That's an FIU shot because there's Ted Bear and a dodge, and there's 2 bills. So. Is that another DC for
Waterloo dodged. Those 2 bills were Waterloo. They're now top 4.
So was that a bot shot? Did Boss Yoshi DC again?
Maybe, but it might have worked out in their favor.
I mean, this blue shell is showing up, but I don't think it's gonna do enough to take out this Waterloo front presence. I mean, there's gonna be a couple FIU shroom ups here, but this is gonna be a lot of tops.
Yeah, it looks like there's a top 3-5 right there.
Was it a top 3-5? I think FIU got 2.
Oh, did they get 2?
Oh no, it was top 3-5. Top 3-5-9. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like Boss Yoshi is just keep DCing, but it looks like Waterloo only needs 5 players to win this right now because they are up 32. It's only the second GP right now, but they're off to a really good start.
This is the kind of start Waterloo absolutely needed. They needed to make a statement and say, we're not out of this just yet. We're not going to roll over and give you this 2-0. And these kinds of races, this is what got FIU off to such a great start in game 1, and the rest of the match was dead even. So Waterloo in the early position with the advantage puts pressure on FIU. They're saying it's your move. You have the good races now. Yeah,
and now we're going to another Waterloo runner in 7-bow. I mean, they're pretty strong on this track, so they'll be very comfortable here. But the thing about 7-bow is that I don't really like it as a group runner, just because that first section, because it is you get bumped a lot. So if top 3 just bumps each other out, then FIU can kind of take advantage of that and just run away on their own. But we'll have to see how they play it here.
Notable community member of CKL, Cutstown's Technical, famously says that this track is good for bottom spots because you can get drafts, you can get shrooms, and you have coins. So we'll see if FIU can take advantage of that. But the advantage of starting in 1 is obviously you're in 1, you're first to the coins, you're first to the boxes. and it's harder for you to get bumped off of this section, which is notorious for shoving people off the track and dooming them to trying to catch up on this really heavy runner.
Yeah, and we saw that there was a bunch of Waterloo already in the back, and it looks like Pickley is going to be getting rid of it out, and it looks like Gank will now be able to take one, and FIU does have, or maybe they are, I don't know, but FIU does have some top presence here with 2-3, and it looks like still, yeah, Waterloo is still decently in the back right now, so it kind of is working out for FIU right now, but you know that rank
Ooh,
from
nice
Pickley.
rank.
Oh, and it looks like they hit out Gank as well. Okay, so never mind. Yeah, Waterloo knows what they're doing on this track, and they got top 2 right back.
Green noted how I'm impressed. Green getting up to 5th from falling off the track right away. I think he fell off, right? Or did he get bumped? Or
I think he
not
got
bumped,
hit out.
Hit out. Okay. This is a really good comeback here for Green, and this might be a little bit of momentum for FIU, because those double
Ooh,
reds had to burn their.
Lucia.
Oh, he had another
Oh.
horn in a top spot. Wow. I was about to mention the double reds burning. Was that Iona's horn or Ingite's horn in 3?
Yeah, it was.
And then the blue shell showing up might have made that really bad for Waterloo, but having the second horn in first place is crazy. These first place item pulls have been nuts. Like,
Yeah.
Pickley's gotta be cheating. Top 4!
Top 4.
Wow!
Okay. You know, it looked a little scuffed at the beginning with them getting hit out on the spiral section, but you know, some may say Kusan luck with these items, but you know, Waterloo is doing really well at the start.
So within the past 2 races, Pickley has not only pulled a horn on a track with like 6 item sets total. He's also pulled double bombs.
Yeah, this guy's item's insane right now. What
He might be using the
cheating.
switch that he might be using the switch you were using at Catalyst.
He might be using my switch. That was my switch.
That was your switch.
Yes, that was mine.
So how much to buy your switch?
Let's see.
Are you looking up the Switch 2 price and you're gonna make me pay that much?
Yeah, pay the Switch 2 price, times that by like 3 because of the angle factor, because I'm awesome. And then,
okay.
yeah. Anyways,
Gosh.
FIU is going to be going Trainbow here. You know, the classic, your bottom spots and need a good race, go Trainbow. So this is exactly what they need to try to get this momentum back. But Waterloo is looking really strong right now.
I also noticed that last race, super DC'd, because he's now on 0 points. So good luck to whoever's making this table.
Looks like these teams' internet is not that great, but as we can see, Pickley is going to go for the smart steering strat because we do not go outside as gamers, and going to be able to get SMT glider, and it looks like right now, Waterloo is going to be able to just draft off each other and try to keep this top 3 going.
Yeah, it is early, and you can still draft a lot, especially in the second section of Trainbow. This is a really good triple green pull for Green. Almost forgot his name. You know, with the revolving green shells. Great pull, but obviously you gotta be careful with your teammates. And I can't see what Ingite has in 1.
Yeah, I can't really tell, but you know, Waterloo still has a great amount of top spots right now. Oh, Green getting that trail though is really good for them. Pickley having a bomb in second. All these bombs being pulled right now. If he drops them on FIU, it could be deadly. Oh, but he gets greened out before he can make a play.
I think he managed to get a couple of the FIU players with his bomb regardless. But that was a really good green shell from, I assume that was Green Snipe. It was either Green or Milkshake. Managed to get the player with the bomb out so their top spots could, you know, keep contesting the lead. It does look like Waterloo is still going to hang on to that first place. An FIU player getting blued on the line, but it is in glider. They should still hold on to 2-3. But
yeah, getting that 2-3 does save them a little bit, but that bottom 2 hurts a lot.
I don't think Waterloo has gotten. I think Waterloo has gotten first every race so far this war.
Yeah, they have been very dominant in the top spots. Just keeping that first place is just really good for them right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is exactly what Waterloo needed to do. Also picking Dragon Driftway, which is, as was mentioned in Game 1, a very strong FIU track. Now, all of a sudden, are the turntables turned?
Maybe.
But as I was saying before, Driftway distracted me. Great track, by the way. I know Shadow probably doesn't think so, but no, good track. Great for one, because one can get coins. They can avoid all the bumps that happen as everyone tries to take this Nisk at the start of the lap after the first set, right before the second set. It's a huge shortcut. It's got to save at least a second at least a second, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. It might. I don't know if it's something like that.
I don't know. Do you play this game? I don't play this game.
I only play this game like once a month.
Yeah, and then you get a YouTube video made out of the greatest 1v1 to ever 1v1.
True. You guys should watch that. It's a pretty good video.
It is
Anyway.
a good video.
Green starting out in 1, getting double protection. Very good spot already to be on Dragon. And it looks like Waterloo are bottom 3 right now. So, if they do, Shock is very good on Dragon. Right? So if they can pull it, it'll be very good for them right now, because FIU is looking like they're going to be taking a lot of top spots right now. But that fire, it looks like it hit 2 of FIU, so that does soften the damage a little bit. And Green gonna have to respect this fire. It doesn't look like he did respect it, and now Waterloo is in top 2.
I was gonna say that Green's showing why this is an FIU staple with his expertise on the track. Blue Shot coming out. I don't think Bird, who's the player in 1 for Waterloo right now, has anything for it. So he is unfortunately just going to have to eat this blue shell. No, he did save a shroom, so he dodged it. Almost disrespectfully, as an FIU player, stars up in front of him, and that is Super MK in 1.
Yeah, but Waterloo is all behind 1 right now, so if they can hit out Super, it'll be probably top 3 for Waterloo, and it looks like, yeah, the Reds of Doom and Despair are going to start hitting out. Oh, but he didn't save 1 for protection, so Green is going to get hit out. And but it looks like Super is still managing to stay in first, but here's the shock, and it looks like it was a Waterloo shock, because I believe that's Waterloo in that bill right now. Another blue shell, and this is looking to be a very chaotic ending. Pickley getting hit out.
I think your average Dragon Driftway ending.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Pickley, what the heck?
Oh, Pickley, what happened?
Is that a bottom 3 for Waterloo off that? I think they still got 1. That is bottom 3.
Yeah, 2 through 5,
168.
7, 9 for FIU is really good. That is really good to get some momentum back in their favor at the half.
Kind of a bit of a boost for the FIU players. Is that, did I see that right? Was that plus 16?
That was a plus 16 for
Wow.
FIU. Yeah.
Kind of reminding Waterloo, like, hey, we see you picking our track. Just here's a reminder on who you're playing against. There's a reason we're D1 finalists.
London Loop.
Swamp Ruins! Let's go!
Okay, so I love Swamp Ruins. Swamp Ruins is a great track. I've never seen Waterloo pick London Loop. Is this one of their tracks? I've never seen this.
I don't know. It's a
Well,
shame. I kind of wish we got London Loop. I want to see Pickley do the London Loop at the start.
True, the London Loop is awesome, but we're going to an even better track with Swamp Ruins. I personally really love this track.
Swamp Ruins is awesome.
Swamp Ruins.
It's a shame nobody picks this track.
I know, I wish more teams picked it because it is such a fun track. And it's pretty good for the top spots that FIU has, getting, taking that shortcut at the beginning. And, already FIU has a 1-3 going. Pickley going to have a shroom in 2, though. It looks like Waterloo is a little bit a spot behind 1. I think they might be 2-4 in the top spots right now. I can't really tell on the minimap, but Green...
3. There's
now
another
they're
red
3.
Yoshi on my screen.
Yeah, but Green's still holding on to first place here, and taking that Nisk does keep you at distance from second place, but Pickley just might shroom up here to try to close the gap on first place. No, he's gonna hold it. Oh, that's why there's a blue shell.
Yeah, I don't think Green has anything to defend himself. and smartly going on the boost panels on the side so that way he can quickly recover. Oh my goodness, that's another horn-in-one for Pickley.
Yeah, but it does look like Waterloo is a good amount of back spots. It looks like they might be bottom, or 3 of the bottom 4 right now, so they kind of need something to kind of hit out these FIU top middle spots, because if they hit out Pickley here, this will be a very devastating race for Waterloo.
Yeah, gotta be careful. Green holding the shroom here. Maybe trying to horn out Pickley? Not quite close enough. Oh, Pickley revealing the horn of his own. Strikes first.
Yeah, it looks like Ted was trying to be aggressive with the green shell, but does not connect. Green still does have a bomb here, though. He could be very aggressive with it. He throws it up. Looks like it does not. Yeah, it does not connect.
Does conveniently block a red.
Yeah, but very convenient. Looks like there is some reds. Oh, Pickley, what happened? Oh, there's a blue shell.
Wait.
That's why. Oh, the blue still goes for Pickley. Oh, what?
It doesn't matter. It's all FIU and tops. That's top 3 FIU.
Yeah, that was an ending.
Sure, it sure was. And there's goes a good chunk of the Waterloo lead. This is intense.
Yeah, I mean, FIU is just coming right back and only down 24 into the last GP. You know, you the thing with FIU is you just cannot count them out ever. They are just a team that will not stop until it's over.
Okay. Pickley has informed me definitely 100% that was intentional. He was trying. He had a plan. He had plans among plans. It's all the mental game. I swear.
You know, whatever works. Works.
He might have been onto something. Because, like, imagine the world where this happens, right? He sees the blue shell coming, he drives off the track, and all of a sudden FIU's in one getting blued. Absolute cinema.
Yeah, ideally, if the blue locked on to someone from FIU, it would have been a pretty good play. But unfortunately, I think the blue was just targeted way too early, and unfortunately, just hit him out. He did bomb Diego though, so it wasn't. It could have been saved. I respect the play, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out.
Hey man, if he still got one after all of that, that would have been the clip of the century.
Honestly. But now we're on to Neo Bowser City. Pickley getting hit out already in the beginning and starting in last. Oh, never mind. No, someone in FIU is in last. But right now, it looks like Waterloo does have a good amount of tops right now. It looks like they are top 3, I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot of red in the front. Which FIU had top 3 at the start of this track. And now Waterloo, I think, is top 4?
Yeah, they might be top 5, actually. Well, now they're top 4, but they are a lot of tops. So FIU...
That is a really early blue shell. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Must have been like just the 30-second mark. But,
yes, surely. This is... And now, because of that little shroom cut there, the top spots are a lot more mixed. Great ring from Green to get Boss Yoshi out of 1.
And trail.
That was a disgusting trail.
Yeah, Pickley with the ring in 2. Green is going to have to be careful how Pickley uses this. Looks like he's just trying to get that one long toss on the ring. Doesn't look like it connects, though. But, there is still... Oh, that bomb.
Wow, more bombs. Because there haven't been enough of them in this war.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We need more.
There's the second blue shell at the end of lap 2. I don't think there's enough time for a third one to be pulled.
No.
But FIU is still holding top 3 here. So Waterloo needs something big, because they were sitting on a 60-point lead not too long ago, and that is almost completely gone away.
Yeah. Oh, Pickley. Oh, dear.
No, Pickley getting kind of owned there.
Yeah, I mean, FIU has been just... These last few races, they have been playing very aggressively, and it's been working. I mean, Waterloo started out like top 4 this race, and now it's turning into an FIU top 3. Like, they just ran this
I think it's top 4. And then
Maybe.
The shock dodge. I think it's top 4, yeah, because the Waterloo player got hit out at the end.
But,
oh boy, we've got ourselves a finish, because this is probably going to be pretty close to even. Just gotta wait for the OBS. Yeah, 6-point
6.
differential, 3 races to go. Waterloo is scrambling to salvage anything right now.
Yeah, Waterloo needs to stop this FIU momentum. They are just steamrolling them right now on any track. Waterloo has been good at starting out in the top spots, but FIU has just been so aggressive in these races and just hitting all of the top spots out. 2 blue shells, all those green shells, like they have been just so aggressive. Waterloo is just unable to maintain those top spots.
Hmm. And that's kind of what it came down to. In the first section of this war, Waterloo controlled the top spots. And because they controlled the top spots, it allowed them to build up that 60-point lead that we had going, out of race 7. But now that FIU has started to infiltrate those top spots, and they're doing a fantastic job of just controlling the top spots now with all of their shells and their team play. This is going to be a finish for the ages, I believe.
Yeah, and right now we are on Daisy Circuit, so this is a very good shroom up track for Waterloo. So if they can pull the shrooms up here, they can easily just reclaim some top spots from FIU. But they really do need to maintain these top spots early and keep them for the race, because they cannot let FIU be as aggressive as they are and just take the top spots right back from them. As I can see, a lot of Waterloo shrooming up, and again, Diego looks like they hit out someone from Waterloo. Couldn't really tell who it was, but Waterloo does have top 2 right now. Trailing this red in first. Got to be careful that Pickley doesn't get trailed out here. Luckily they made some space, but again, it's very chaotic in the front. As you can see, I think that was Green that just horned out Pickley there. Yeah, and FIU's 1-3 again.
However, look at that bottom 3. They're really far back. Only one of those players is Waterloo. Initially, I thought that was all FIU, which is why I started making the point. I was like, oh, that's an FIU bottom 3, and they're all at chalk distance. This could be awkward. But this is a track where Shock can play a much bigger role than you would expect on a track with only one shortcut. Because that one shortcut is... Well, first off, it saves a lot of time. But secondly, it puts you in a glider. So if you can get the right people into the shortcut, you can dodge some people in glider and then get some more dodges running up. So are we going to see a lap 3 Shock? Because I do believe those back spots hit that stat at distance. Maybe Gank has it after his bill, or there might be a Waterloo player in the back with Shock.
Yeah, it might be, but if they do have that Shock, they're going to have to use it soon. Pickley going to be able to take over first by taking that cut. No defense in 1, though, and Green does have a red shell, so if he decides when he's going to be aggressive, yep, Pickley is going to just get hit out. And going to be hit out. Yeah, he's going to be able to take over first. And it looks like, well, Waterloo is everything behind 1 right now in 2-3-5. Bird might be aggressive with this rain to try to hit out FIU. Nope, they get hit out on their own. Yeah, it looks like FIU did.
Pickley managed to snipe a spot at the end.
That actually does help a lot. Actually, 2-3-5-6 9-11 for Waterloo is not a terrible race. It might be just a close to even race there.
I was gonna say I think that's a slight gain. Rain.
Yeah, +4. Some may say a fantastic 4.
That was a fantastic race, you could say.
Yeah, that is exactly what Waterloo needed. Just even that +4 just stops FIU's momentum, and that's really huge, especially for these last 2 races. So if Waterloo, they don't need necessarily huge races, they just need races that, maybe slight positives. Maybe you can get away with a -2, but they just need to keep that momentum away from FIU.
I'd start picking comfort tracks here, because you just need tracks your team can play and get good races on. I would say almost regardless of spots, just pick a track your team can do well on, because you need to make sure that you stay in control of this match. For Waterloo, I think I can't say I have full confidence in the Summit pick.
Yeah,
as this track is notorious for being, as some would call it, Mickey.
Yeah, so here's the thing. With even if DK Summit is a comfort track, there's so much just RNG, especially with this cannon set at the beginning, that it doesn't matter how good you are at the track. one shock and a few dodges just kills the race.
Yeah. Although because of the broken nature of the cannon set, and even to an extent this item set that Green just drove by, that was a disgusting trail.
Wow.
He's gonna get punished for it. But those two sets at the right distances are very, very broken because you just gain so much distance from the player in the box because of the nature of the track, which also results in these crazy races where you'll see 3 blues on DK Summit or even a triple shock DK Summit. Waterloo, I believe, is like 136. There are a bunch of mids, but that's a lot of FIU in the back, which is not what you want on a track like this. Because
That's why.
yeah. Waterloo, I imagine, has seen the shock. Yep.
Oh.
I think Waterloo also pulled because they just decided to spam it. They got 2 of their players in bills too. So yes, you do kind of shock your top spots in a rough position, but now you have top spots with broken items because DK Summit.
Yeah, I mean, the items are just they're pure chaos on this track. So like right now, like Waterloo is still managing to keep those top spots. I think they might be top 3. It looks like.
Are top. Yeah, they are top 3.
Yeah, so there can be another shock pulled though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been 30 seconds. We could see another shock. Pickley with 2 dodges, so he is going to be dodging the shock if it comes. There's the blue. Waterloo. Ooh, this blue's coming in an awkward spot because it's gonna hit some of their players over gap. Okay, they decide to shock cancel the blue, or maybe that was an FIU shock to get them overcut. But Pickley with this bill is going to be able to.
What is happening with this
he
bill?
pulled this bill in 3rd. Waterloo is in. He's gonna get 1 off of this because he's got shrooms behind it. Where is Green going?
What is happening? This is an actual custom track.
It really is. I mean, I said I didn't have full confidence in the DK Summit pick, but Waterloo made it work. That's a winning race.
Yeah, I mean 3-4-5 for FIU does soften the blow a little bit on their end, but that is still a Waterloo game. That's a +10. So FIU, if they really want to end it here, they're gonna have to get a pretty big race here and pick a track they're really comfortable with. But all Waterloo needs to do is just have like an even race or just a small loss, and they'll bring this to game 3.
I mean, there is the saying about counting chickens and before they hatch. I guess I have chickens on my mind because of a certain movie, but this is not over yet. You do still have to play this race 12. I kind of dig the cheeseline pick. Again, this track is stupid, but have you really seen a big race on Cheeseland?
You know, well, we're not going to see one here.
Point, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a big race, like Cheeseland is kind of the gambling track you kind of need. But you know, this one is also a pretty heavy gambling track, especially with this cannon set right at the end of lap 2.
I mean, you could say that FIU is looking for a big race on this big track.
Yeah, might be a big.
Welcome to the CKL stream, where the puns are awful, but the gameplay is pretty good.
Yeah, because this is D1 gameplay, by the way.
Yeah, D1 gameplay, featuring my king, Pickley, and my other king, FIU Green. Hi, FIU Green.
There he is, streaming up, going up into 8. It looks, I mean, I feel like casting a big blue race is kind of impossible because does really anything matter until the cannon set? Let's be real.
No, it doesn't. Like, somebody is basic. I think FIU has just got to put themselves in a position where if they pull shock at cannon set, they can use it and get top 5. That's how you win this race. That's how you win the war right here.
Yeah,
I don't think that red was going for Green. I think that was going for Diego, and he just managed to block it. Here's the cannon set. It's Pickley's in 4, so we're not going to see him pull anything crazy. That's a lot of Waterloo in mids. Yeah, FIU playing very aggressive here because they have to. They need to play aggressive. They can't just play passive and expect a big race here. There's the blue shell. Which, oh, Green gets hit out. And Diego's getting blued?
Huge.
No, he managed to
No.
dodge the blue. Diego must have had something, but I think if Pickley can, oh, that's a lot of Waterloo in the back.
That's a lot of
Pickley might,
Waterloo in the back. Yeah.
Pickley might have to make a play with this Rang.
Oh, doesn't get it. Still keeps
Okay,
two
it
though.
looks like I think some of the Waterloo players shroomed up. Is this a, they might have held on. Yeah, I see a lot of red Yoshi celebrating. That'll be enough to hang on.
Yeah, bottom 2 for FIU. That's definitely not enough. So it looks like Waterloo is going to manage to send this to a game 3. A little scary because big blue is just big blue, but yeah, it looks like that was an even race actually.
What a masterclass from our two stream POVs, having the top 2 points totals in the room.
Yeah, I mean, right? This is exactly what Waterloo needs to do. I mean, now they have the momentum in their favor going into game 3. They are in a very, very strong position right now.
Absolutely. But I think that FIU showed a lot of sign of life coming down the stretch. They brought it into that 6-point differential going into race 11. So stay tuned because this game 3 is going to be heat.
Yeah, don't know when they will be opening. They're probably deciding when they're gonna want to open room next. I think it's FIU. FIU hosts next room, I believe.
Yes, because they were the top seed, so they'll be hosting game 3. All these tracks, as a reminder, are off the table. They will be opening at 05, and our stream team here will be taking a quick break before the game 3 starts. Be sure to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere because you do not want to miss this finish. Welcome back to Game 3 of Season 4 Collegiate Karting League Division 1 Finals. I'm back. I'm LeBob. I'm here with Angle. And Angle, that was one heck of a Game 2 we just saw.
Yeah, that was that really came down to the end especially on race 12 and 11. Those were it was coming down to the wire. And what do you think happened differently that war that Waterloo managed to be able to take this to a game 3?
I think there were two big things that went differently. First off, Waterloo managed, especially in that first half, to hold a lot of top spots early, and they managed to use some of their track experience later to reclaim those top spots on Mickey Summit. And the second thing was, it felt like the Waterloo got a lot more shocks that war than FIU did. I can't really remember FIU pulling any extremely impactful shocks in Game 2, whereas Waterloo had that really huge DK Summit shock, and there was, I believe there was a shock race 1 on DKJ that got Pickley into 1 early. So if Waterloo can keep that up going into Game 3, they can probably close this out and claim their regular season banner.
Yeah, I think Waterloo was just able to maintain a lot more control in that war. So, they were able to just keep some top spots and keep FIU from, making any huge plays that will affect their races. Though, however, FIU did manage to cut the lead down a lot. They were, it was like a 60-point lead or something like that, and it was brought down to, I believe it was 10 points at some point. I don't remember exactly on how
6 points
close.
with 2 races to go.
Yeah, 6 points with 2 races to go. So, Waterloo can't play too complacently because FIU is still hungry to get another banner here. And they have to be very careful to not let FIU get their momentum back. And because this is a Game 3, your best tracks off the board right now. So right now it is going to be which team has the deeper pocket of tracks that they can manage with, and that will be the team that will be able to take home the victory here.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's going to be a track that either of these teams don't have experience on, because we can talk all we want about the amount of experience that these top players on these two teams have. like Pickley, Iona, and Ingite, and even Boss Yoshi, strong players, very well versed with the tracks in this game. So it's going to come down to which team can just play together better. And because FIU was that top seed, they do get the game 3 host, and they elect to use that to get a lot of tops and lock in. I can't play the soundboard, unfortunately, but U-turn folks out there, just imagine the boat horn.
Yeah, and Daisy Cruiser is pretty much one of the most common group runners in CKL and in general, just competitive Mario Kart. I'm surprised it actually is only getting picked in Game 3. I feel like it would have been picked earlier, but we're seeing it now from FIU. The thing with Cruiser, I don't know if we're going to get it or not, but the thing with Cruiser is Shock is still pretty deadly on Cruiser, so you have to be careful of not letting the other team having a lot of back presence. Doesn't matter though, we're going to Koopa Cape, which is, probably the other most common track, which is the most common shroom up in college kart, and probably in competitive kart in general as well.
Yeah, and it's a very powerful shroomer for 2 reasons. One, coins on this track are not easy to come by. You have to go pretty out of your way to grab a bunch of coins. And the second thing is there is one item set that everybody guaranteed gets every lap. The other item sets are either on those half pipes in this section and in the pipe section, or on this water stream where you have to hope that you can pick one up along the way. So because Waterloo gets all these bottom spots, and if you pull a box in a bottom 4 spot at the very beginning of the race, you are guaranteed a mushroom. So Waterloo should have had a lot of guaranteed mushrooms, and you can see it on the minimap. They're already in a lot of top spots. Green is out here fighting a war on its own.
Yeah, this is exactly what Waterloo needed, because FIU did host the room, so they were going to get a lot of those top spots. But as we can see, Waterloo has a pretty decent lead in top 2, and that back on Green does help a lot to help top 2 break away. He's going to opt to go for these boxes here and just stay in the back. It pulls a star at that set. It's kind of insane.
I didn't think he was going to be at distance for that.
Yeah.
Opting to chain it, yeah. I mean, I guess this means that we can know FIU does not have Shock right now, because if they had Shock, even though they have they have bot 3 right now, demonic horn by Iona around the corner. There's no way Green would have used that star if oh, I think that was an FIU Shock. Green pulled another star from the half pipe.
Wow.
That's the other part of Koopa Cape that's a little bit more sporadic. Is Shock is common because top spots get so far ahead, and Shock is very strong because you can guarantee your team has shrooms and deny shrooms from the other team very easily.
Yeah, ooh, a little bit of a line fell from Green there. It does hurt. Oh, does he still manage to red out? Yeah, he's just still managed to red out Ingite, which is insane. Blue shell coming out.
Blue.
Yeah, I think Waterloo.
That's
Yeah,
gonna
Waterloo
hit out the soul. That's gonna hit the soul Waterloo player in 1. Oh, he got some collateral with it.
Wow. It does look like FIU is still managing to keep that top 2, but actually,
he's gonna be able to slip into 2 here. Oh no,
nope.
Green managed to outline him. Wow. So FIU is going to start this war with the advantage.
Oh, bottom 3.
Yeah, bottom 3. Yeah, that Shock was tough for Waterloo. And just like I was saying, where that was a huge shock for FIU, and it put this race that should have been really good for Waterloo, who was in really good spots, completely in the other favor. So now you still have FIU with this massive advantage, and they can go ahead and baby chain this into their runner.
Yeah, I mean, FIU, the thing with FIU is they're really good at just turning an enemy track pick and it make it look like it was their own. Because, Waterloo had all that advantage in that race, and then that Shock just immediately turned it around. And, that whatever happened with that blue shell at the end just completely made it everything FIU in FIU's favor. And now we see
I thought all 4 people were gonna die to that blue shell, but I think Green slowed down just enough to avoid it.
Yeah, and now we're going into Hyrule Circuit. FIU, they did get top 2, and this is one of the most popular top 2 tracks of all time in this game. So
Yeah, because you can get your top 2 early coins, and even though it doesn't matter as much because there are coins everywhere on this track, being able to get an early coin advantage is still massive. Because I mean, all our audience has probably seen the shortcat short that says coins make you faster. You don't have to be told this again.
Oh yeah, except that on this track it's rupees, not coins.
Same difference. I mean, it is a currency made up of a precious mineral.
True. But as we can see, FIU looks like they still kept their top 2 going, but Waterloo is a lot of the upper mid spots. Looks like Iona did get fired out though, and Pickley is gonna be able to shroom up into 4th pretty easily. Looks like they have 3, 4, 5, and Diego Green top 2 right now, holding it
Pickley's
pretty
gonna be able
well.
to. Yeah, Pickley's gonna be able to cut up here though. Can he get in front of the banana is the question.
Ooh.
No, he's gonna be stuck behind.
Does have that horn though. I think he
Yeah,
did get.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really aggressive horn, but it's what he need. Oh, tough back, but no, the horn was aggressive. It's what he needed to do because he did not want to play the game of chicken with the trailed Nana right behind him.
Yeah, but it looks like right now Waterloo is everything behind 1 and 2 at 2, 3, 4. Although Green is in a pretty good position here with triple greens and triple shrooms in 5. Unfortunate grass hitting the grass there and slowing down the speed, forcing the shrooms. But you know, still having these shrooms here in 5th, gonna be able to cut up here twice. Gonna be able to close some distance on these Waterloo players. And now cut up to 4. So 1-4 is not the worst, but it does look like FAU is a lot of the backswings right now.
I was gonna say at the start of this lap, I think the back spots were split 2 and 2, so I don't think any one team has an inherent advantage. Great backfire from Pickley. It does give Ingite and Pickley a lot of room to work with here. Maybe being able to double red out. Oh, the second red doesn't connect, and FIU was holding the blue shell, so they do get 1-4, but that's a 2-3-5. I think Waterloo is still getting last, but that's like 2-3-5 mids for Waterloo.
Yeah, that's still
no,
pretty
FIU
good.
still got last. It's not enough to. Okay, it is +2 for Waterloo, which is fine. You needed a small win. You don't have to get that +20 back all in one race. The last thing you wanted was that to get bigger. And now, since all the spots are kind of mixed together, I'll be interested to see which team kind of picks as their ace, I guess, because this is where you would use it.
Yeah, especially with these like almost even races, you really just pick a track that you just know that you're better than the other team on, because you know there's not really one track fits all kind of thing. You just pick whatever you're comfortable with, and we can see FIU going with Cloud Top and Waterloo going with their hometown Vancouver.
And we are gonna go to Vancouver Velocity, a track which I know we've already made this joke before, but you have some fond memories, some explosive memories of this track.
Oh, I love this track. All right. You know, we might see 5 bombs pulled here. You know, you never know, but
you never know. You never know.
But you know, I believe Waterloo's probably going to be really confident on this track. Just a hunch, because you know they probably visited this place a few times in their lives.
Yeah. For the record, I'm not jinxing it. Somebody in chat said it first. Diego is on 30 points after 2.
Well, let's see if he keeps it going here. Where's that red shell going?
Narnia, apparently. So, who said that in chat? I'm calling you out right now. Evan Miko, whenever Diego gets like a 7th place this race, it's all your fault.
Yeah, what the heck, Evan? Why would you say this? Anyway, Green is going to be greened out in 10th, so it's going to be bottom 2 for FIU. But, you know, the thing with this track, and I know because I play this track a lot, shock can be very deadly on this track. So if FIU decides to go for it, which they might have to because they are bottom 3, bottom 4.
They're bottom 4, so this is risky for Waterloo. You're giving them full odds. I'm not sure if they're at distance yet.
Oh, these bombs.
There's bombs. Number 1.
I've played these games before, but it looks like Waterloo is in top 3 right now. I'm going to just throw the bomb away. Yeah, I threw a bomb like that similarly. But Green does have a star in 5th, so, you know, Waterloo is the top 4 right now. But if they do pull a shock, Green will most likely be able to take first place if he dodges up here.
Hang on, I'm pulling up the shock map right now so I can see who's at distance.
They did not do research.
Well, I am not the left angle. I do not pick this track on the regular. I cannot read the shock.
Oh, well, there's the shock
Oh,
anyway. You don't even
I was-
need the map.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, FIU was sitting in bottom spot the entire race. It was kind of a matter of time. Did Bird dodge in a ghost?
Green.
Oh, no, Green hit himself out.
Green.
Oh.
That is unfortunate. And he pulled the bomb.
Oh, but the blue kills all of Waterloo.
What is happening? It looks like
Did
someone
Bosch
went up.
just have this horn and he didn't use it? Surely he pulled it after the blue, right?
He's getting hit by the shy guy. FIU is 3-4-5. Green gets
What
horned
is
out.
going on?
So Pickley's in last. What?
No, he's gonna get Green with this bomb. Trust.
Nope.
That's.
A lot of bombs pulled that race, but that
I-
is 4 of bottom 5 for Waterloo. So that's a pretty good race for FIU, but I could not
Oh.
tell you what just happened.
I'm speechless.
I-
What did I just witness? That was. You could record the last lap of that race and put like circus music over it, because that was just chaos on all sides.
that was pure chaos.
And it very much benefited FIU as they have doubled their lead.
Yeah, FIU is just claiming their momentum right back, going back to picking Daisy Cruiser, which, you know, that's exactly what they need. Just another great group runner. But Waterloo needs to put an end to this because, you know, they cannot let FIU get any further away. I think, you know, just having like a lead that's more than one race is just detrimental here. Like, you need to keep this close.
Yeah, especially seeing how static we've seen the lead be after, you know, disregarding a couple big races, which I know is such an obvious thing to say, like, oh, well, if you take out all the big races, it's a close war. But, like, for real, if you handpick 2 races out of each war where one team had 2 big races, like, this is an even game. And so, Waterloo, these are 2 very evenly matched teams, and it's going to come down to who's going to just drive better down the stretch. One thing to note about Cruiser is it is good. You can pick Cruiser for draft spots, I think. It is a very good runner, but back spots have shrooms, back spots have coins, and back spots can draft here. And because of all the tight corridors, it's really hard to not get a draft. Well,
Yeah, and
Goombud.
well, you know, that's one way to not get a draft. But yeah, I mean, looks like Waterloo does have a decent amount of, you know, spots up here. Green opting to go for the bottom path, interestingly enough.
Green just got a UMT on that. Oh, and that is item lag. Oh boy.
Yeah, I know Boss Yoshi did TC before this race because he was on 0. But, you know, it might just be CollegeNet. CollegeNet is not that great.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard, as his teammate, I've heard Super lament time and time again about FIU net, and I think that was Boss Yoshi finally giving his net giving out there.
Yeah, looks like FIU is a lot of the back spots, so it looks like their runner of choice kind of just flipped on his head, and
I mean, don't say that yet. We haven't seen Shock, we haven't seen Blue.
well, there's the shock. Guess they're turning their runner into a shroom up.
Yep. And there's Shock Blue, and this is going to be a plus 20 ways for FIU.
Yeah, if Waterloo doesn't do anything to stop this, this is going to be a big race for FIU.
I mean, I don't know what. I don't know what you can do. You just had to, I guess, hindsight, have someone in the back spots.
Green.
Smart steering not working. Hello.
Yeah, I think the smart steering was just turned on a little bit too late, but
Hey, bro, got a smart steering from Timu.
Pickley still managed to get third there, so that does soften the blow. But
Still
top
bot
2-4
3.
bot 3, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. I
You know
think Waterloo is probably nearing desperation mode.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Cruiser is that even if you don't use it, like even if you use it as a runner and then it fails, you just have like so much time to manage to just like turn it into a shroom up with a shock and just completely flip how the track is run. So, and FIU played the track in 2 different ways in the span of 3 laps.
Hmm. And it's like you mentioned at the start of this game, the shock is very powerful on Cruiser because even though there are no shortcuts, being able to just catch up really safely in those tight, congested turns makes a massive difference.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe they're holding. I don't know if there was another DC in that race, but it looks like there
There
was.
was, and it was a Waterloo player. I think it
Yeah,
was Boss Yoshi.
yeah, that is not what you want to see, especially entering GP2. I mean they've handled a bot in their race decently, and luckily they're gonna get
Oh,
Cheeseland. So that bot will be the one volunteering to run Cheeseland.
yeah. So we talked about how the first 2 laps of Big Blue, or the first 2 sections of Big Blue, don't matter. Nothing that happens section 1 in Cheeseland means anything. Because it's going to kind of come down to someone is going to pull shock, 3 people are going to take the funny bill extension, and all chaos is going to break loose at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we see FIU, it looks like 5 of them are back there, and interestingly enough, it looks like okay, never mind. Those Waterloos are turning around, so it looks like 2 in the bot running for Waterloo, and 1 of FIU. Yeah, FIU is just. I mean, like, does this matter? Does anything matter on lap 1 here?
Not really. It'd be funny if the baby Rosalina gets first out of all of this.
Yeah, I mean, Baby Rosalita is currently in first, so
Maybe baby Rosalina is like secretly Alberto in disguise.
maybe. I mean, if the bot is Alberto, then I'll
Oh my
DC
god,
every
the
race.
bot just demon horned Ted
No
Bear.
way! Ain't no way the bot just did that. Yo,
Go bot.
is this a lounge bot? This might be a lounge bot.
It might be. I think FIU has shock. Yeah, I was gonna say because Ted Bear just got redded and elected to hold his star through the red, which kind of gave it away a bit, but maybe getting a bit of revenge on the Baby Rosa bot.
Yeah, it does look like Waterloo still does have a little bit of top 2. Probably not going to last very long because FIU probably does have things to take the shortcut here. Pickley took the turn
might
a
pull
little
Bill.
too tight.
No, I think there's probably already 3 bills in play then.
Most likely. Green opting to slow down here, probably trying
Somebody
to
had
go...
a bill in 2.
Oh, right.
Who is it?
That's... Let's see. Blue Shell's out.
I think it's an FIU player because, yeah, it doesn't make sense for that blue to be thrown if it was Waterloo.
Yeah, so now they're going to be taking the blue if they don't have anything to dodge it. No,
It looks like
just
they
took the blue.
don't.
Oh,
There's another shock. That is a
all of Waterloo dodged. Did enough to really make a
Shrooms?
dent. Yeah.
Oh.
1-3. I mean, it did.
136. I mean, this is a gain for 136-710. This is a gain for Waterloo, and you put yourself in a position where your next race can be pretty big.
Yeah, not a huge race, but again, it's all about momentum, and especially like here, in these in going into race 6, the last race of the half. Even though just a +2, but again, now you're in a position where you can pick one of your runners and try to make have a huge race here because, and you want to be you want to have all that momentum entering the second half of this war. So they really need to pick a very comfortable track for them here.
I'm guessing whoever got one for Waterloo, maybe this is the other half of their heritage because you got the Canadian, and then there's the French Canadian who picks Paris.
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
they also got the
Oui, oui.
French track of Bone Dry Dunes on screen, so I mean, I guess they're pretty happy with whatever is on screen. But we're going to go to Paris Promenade.
Also, interesting note, because we were talking last war how cheeseline races tend to not be very big. That was a +2 for Waterloo. It was not a big race.
No, it
But-
was not a big race.
But Waterloo didn't need a big race. They don't need big races right now. They just needed to stop the bleeding, and they achieved exactly what they needed to with that Cheeseland race.
Yeah, exactly. Just keeping that momentum at bay from FIU, and now,
Unfortunate trail there.
yeah, but now they're in a good position to have a good race on Paris and try to turn this thing around.
Early top 3. Pickley is defenseless. I don't think that's green right there, and he doesn't have anything. So
That's
yeah.
a
Oh, that was
mess.
such a good horn.
Yeah, but it does.
Okay, it
look
is
like-
Ignite.
Yeah, FIU is bottom 2 right now, so they might be going for a shock, which on Paris can be very deadly, but you do have to kind of set up for it pretty early. That is a nasty bomb.
I mean, I don't think that was avoidable. I think he just kind of had to eat it. Oh, and they're getting shock
Ooh.
blued.
Star in 5th.
Yeah, that had to have been an FIU shock. I think an FIU player genuinely just pulled shock blue.
Yeah, that was exactly what they needed.
Did I just see that had to have been a star in 12th, right? That's not another shock.
Well, we're gonna find out soon enough. But green now, it looks like that
Great horn from Boss Yoshi.
Yeah, that was insane. But it looks like a lot of mixed spots here at the top. Just looks like pretty split even right now.
Yeah, it's 1-4-5 right now for FIU, but this last section of Paris is known for its chaos.
Yeah. Oh, and fire. Yeah, this is dirty fire to be backing here. It looks like they hit out 2 of Waterloo. Super gonna be able to take the cut. They might have passed Boss Yoshi at the end. I couldn't really tell.
Green drops to 5th there. I think that's FIU 1. It has to be, right? No. Okay, Boss did hold on. That's a gain. Another 135. Or no, 136. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's another gain, another small gain, regardless. But again, yeah, another +2. Again, it's just another way to stop that momentum. You don't need huge races yet, but entering the second half, you do got to start playing a little bit cautiously and starting to plan ahead on when you're gonna have to make your big push on trying to get this lead back.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, -2s are not going to win you this war, or +2s are not going to win you this war. And quick little around the league update. It was mentioned earlier that the Michigan State-Texas State game 3 was playing. They finished a little bit ago, and your Division 3 champions this season is going to be Texas State. They reversed 2-0 the Spartan Carton. And there was also a Division 2 semifinal match between Tennessee and UCSD. I don't see results for those coming in yet, but as soon as I know, we'll get it checked out and let you guys know.
Yeah, so congratulations to Texas State for winning D3. But going back to D1, also worth noting there was another DC on Waterloo, so we have Baby Rosalina back in the game. And now we're going to be on Bone Dried Dunes. I believe this was an FIU pick. I wasn't really paying
FIU
attention.
has been picking this for a while.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the player who DC'd was Boss Yoshi again, who was in 1.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see here. Probably why they were picking Mushroom Gorge, because that's, not a great track to pick for 1. But Pickley still manages to cut back up into 1, but it looks like a lot of FIU is behind them right now. So you're going to have to play very carefully.
Yeah. It's a lot of FIU in behind 1, and this is going to be a lot of FIU tops. Diego with a Shroom in 1. Are you thinking shock if you're Waterloo?
I think you have to. You see that one red Yoshi. Actually, no, that isn't a DC. Oh, there it is. Looks like that was a Waterloo shot because Waterloo did dodge, but he only did dodge in last. So
Bot
I mean, it was
shock?
pretty neutral. Maybe. I mean, the pack is so close right now. You see everyone's just clumped up right now. But it does look like
Oh,
FIU
these greens
does.
are going to do damage if Pickley can get it to work out.
Oh my!
Oh, he lived?
Pickley is probably the bravest human I've ever seen to drive straight into a. All right.
Oh.
So that's unfortunate.
Ever heard the phrase "ball don't lie"?
You know, him.
Oh,
So
Gang just got.
Oh my!
Gang just got bombed out of one, and Green got hit off glider. He's not going to be able to take this last cut very quickly, at least.
Yeah, it looks like FIU. Some of FIU did get hit out at the end here.
That's going to be 9-10. That's 8, 9, 10, 11 for FIU. Waterloo managed to salvage that race so well.
Wow. Top 2, 4, 5, 7 is huge for Waterloo. You know, that bot is unfortunate, but...
Yeah, wow. Those are the kind of races you need. Yeah, that is a plus 20. Massive race. Now Waterloo, one race away from taking the lead. I mean, I think it's a bit far-fetched to knock... I mean, it'd be pretty cool if it happened that we saw a top 6, but I think these two teams are so close in skill. Seeing a top 6 at this state is just going to be unheard of.
Did Green just switch to City Tripper?
I think he did, right?
I think I just saw him switch to City Tripper. Is it because they're picking Animal Crossing?
Maybe.
I wasn't aware of the Animal Crossing meta being City Tripper. I don't know if this is some.
I'm sorry, Green. I wasn't familiar with your game.
His ball knowledge might just be insane.
Well, we're gonna see, and we'll be awaiting the winner of Georgia versus ASU in the Division II finals, which will be on next week.
Congratulations again to these teams. But here we go. We're going to see Greed rocking the City Tripper on Animal Crossing. I believe this is spring. Yeah, this is spring because there's a lot of extra trick ramps, which personally I love spring. I think it's one of my favorite Animal Crossing season and my favorite season in general. But we're going to see how FIU does play this track because this it can kind of be played in a couple different ways.
Yeah. I know that teams... This is another one of those tracks that doesn't get picked very much, but it is... I know a lot of teams would use this as a bagger because there are a lot of ways you can shroom up. If you are not in a top spot, it's really hard to get an item at the second set, being the balloons. That was a really nice slow trail, 2 for 2. I think he might have gone 3 for 3. Green is being a mid-pack demon right now for
Fire
FIU.
killed like 4 of them.
Yep, and
oh my god,
1-3 is decent for Waterloo, but you've got a lot of back spots, so I think that's a Waterloo dodge in the back. So we're gonna see somebody catch up, but that also felt like a pretty neutral shock because the only person who was hit after set was Iona.
Yeah, side note, that person was on Ink Striker. I don't know what's with all these vehicle switches this race, but yeah, that does feel like a pretty neutral shock. I think like only one person dodged, like you said. That is a rough position to be in.
Yeah. 2-3. Pickley with triple shrooms.
Yeah, I can't really let up though. It's the issue.
Yeah, he might be stuck holding this red because there might be
a blue shell.
Oh, Waterloo top 2.
Diego trying to slow down with the blue to try to get Ingai, but fails. So Waterloo's gonna be able to get top 2 here.
And it looks like Waterloo also managed to avoid last place. This looks like a plus 10, more or less. So Waterloo's still putting up some fight.
Plus 12.
Okay, plus 8. I was close. Wait, was it 12?
I thought it was. Wasn't it 32? I thought it was.
You're
32.
right. It is 32. I can't count. Because 10 plus 2 is 8. Source, trust me, bro.
True. But yeah, Waterloo's getting their momentum right back, and cutting it down to only minus 20. This is basically how it was in race 12 of the last war. But now we're in the last GP. We have a whole GP of Waterloo trying to get the lead back and FIU trying to keep their lead. Who chose Toad Harbor?
That is Super MK.
I think might have been a misclick.
It might have been.
Doesn't matter anyway. We're going to Bangkok Rush. Wait, did they get a sub?
I think so, because I think Boss Yoshi just couldn't stay in the room, and rather than having him teleport in and out of the match, they'd rather have just played with a player. So hey, 7th Man of the Year award. If Waterloo goes on to win this, is that Waterloo Sandwich? I'll look up his MKC name.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, a pretty interesting track pick from Waterloo because you typically kind of see Bangkok used as kind of I feel like a kind of a drafter, with that draft strat at the beginning where you just hang on the left side and just draft off of each other. But kind of just switching up using it as a runner. Probably just trying to skill diff FIU on this track. Looks like Green's already trying to slow down to stay in the bottom 4, but the pack is still very close and pretty mixed right now.
Yeah, and through a lot of personal experience, I can tell you that a lot of things can happen Section 3 on Bangkok. It's not to the extent where I say Sections 1 and 2 do not matter, because this top 3 from Waterloo already is really good. And if they can hold on to this, it'll be a very good race. But this is also a Bangkok Rush. It's shock was that?
I don't
know. It was a Waterloo shock. There was a red Yoshi that dodged in the pack. So they got their top spots in the glider, unfortunately after set. But even still, it's probably okay.
Oh, barely dodging that red, but doesn't have
Wall
double
dodge?
redding. Oh,
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't familiar with your game, Pickley, but it
There's
does
a
look like...
lot of blue behind him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a lot of FIU behind one.
That's a really nice pull to get in case of emergency. But
Yeah, but the rest of Waterloo are gonna have to make a push to try to break up these FIU everything behind one.
there's the 7th Man of the Year, Waterloo Sandwich. Go, my child, you can do it.
Yeah, it looks like now they're managing to hold the top 2. Blue shell out. I don't know if Waterloo. Oh, the Sandwich gonna get blue on the line. That is.
Hey,
Oh,
they canceled it. But I don't know who dodged. That was some FIU dodges. It's gonna be like 1/6. Yeah.
oh yeah, that's a good FIU race.
It's a small gain. It'll be plus like 6.
It might be more than that.
Maybe. Oh, it's plus
Plus
10.
10.
Oh. 3 races to go. Waterloo needs to pull some magic.
Yeah, they, I mean, you don't need a huge race, but you're gonna need at least like a plus 10 or plus 12 every race to stay in it, or just one big race will do it. But they need to make something happen here. They are running out of time. Staying on City Tripper though.
Weibo from Waterloo. What do you make of this track angle? Because everyone I ask sees this track differently.
The way I see Weibo is, I see it as it doesn't matter, but I'll answer anyway. I see Weibo kind of as like a hybrid track that can kind of be used for anything. I think, I feel like you use it kind of like for like top 2 mids. Because I feel like, with a track of that's the longest track in the game, you can kind of just manage to make anything work. So if you just don't know what to pick and you feel comfortable just going Weibo, I say just go Weibo. But anyway, we're on Squeaky Clean Sprint though.
This is another track where big races can happen. Like, we could very much see FIU could put this war in a very close to unwinnable situation here, or Waterloo could nearly tie the game. This is a very it's a chaotic track, and it's also a very technical track.
Yeah, like even like especially like when the track first came out, just knowing how to drive the track a little bit puts you at such a big advantage just because of how much tech and how much skill you need to like perfectly run this track. As we can see, it looks like Waterloo are already holding on to a top 3 right now.
It's a little more than top 3, I think.
Yeah, top 4.
Oh my god, what a horn pull.
You know, he might be Kusan.
He might be, and that is top 3 break, and they have a member in 4th. The important thing is going to be monitoring those back spots. You do have the FIU 12th player, that's green in a bill. But Waterloo might be thinking that FIU could be holding a shock.
Oh, Pickley.
Caught in 4K.
Yeah, got hit with that potassium, but they're still in top 3, and it looks like I didn't get a back off.
Oh my goodness, that's another bomb, and it is FIU behind him.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, he just bunched up the lobby. That is a massive break in top 3, and Waterloo's contesting 4th.
Oh, but the shock.
There's only 2 dodges though, and a lot of players were in glider.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, yeah, you get top 2, but the important thing is, oh wait, no, Ted Bear was in a ghost.
Oh, Headbear could really make some damage here with those triple greens, but Waterloo still does hold on to top 2. That Bill and Diego's Bill might be able to contest that top 2 though. It looks like
Pickley, and he trails out his teammate. Uh-oh.
Ooh,
This is looking dire for Waterloo.
blue shell out though.
Okay. It depends. Does he have a shroom to dodge in 1? If he has a shroom, Pickley opting to take the lower path. Okay, so Waterloo is, I think, still going to get top 2, because the Black Yoshi did get blued on the line.
Yeah,
But that's some bottom spots too.
that's bottom 2 as well.
Okay, top 2, 6, 7. I think it's a very small gain. Yeah, +4.
Yeah, I mean that bottom
could
2
be it.
hurts. I mean, last 2 races here. If you're Waterloo, you just need a big race. You need to keep it close, and you need to cut down this lead. But if you're FIU, honestly, a small gain puts you in a very good position.
I mean, if you're FIU, even if you get like a small like +4, +6, I just lock in. Do you just lock in Baby Park race 12? Try and secure that win.
I've seen fridges on Baby Park, so but if you like gambling, that might be the play.
I don't know. It's a tough decisions.
Gonna see Twisted Mansion from FIU and Music Park from Waterloo.
It looks like we are going to be going to Twisted Mansion. Shock is, I mean, this can be said about so many tracks. I think Shock on this track is very, very deadly. Because you pull that Shock, you can shock people after set lap 3. And if you have dodges, you're the only ones who can take that huge shortcut at the end and gain so many spots.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know if they're going to already immediately send one of them back to try to get a shock, but if it looks like they are, or it might be lag. Never mind, that was lag. But, because of this early shroom cut here, Waterloo are going to be able to take some top spots here, even though it was FIU's track pick. I think that's mostly like the Waterloo 6-7 able to cut up to the front. And, the shortcut is just so critical on this track that, now Waterloo's in top 3. But, FIU has been pretty consistent at pulling these shots. So if they can pull another one on TM, it might be GG's.
Yup. This is just gonna... Man, it sucks that this might be the race your season comes down to, and it's a track that, in a game filled with RNG, comes down to a little bit more RNG than some of the others. But I think that's also just the nature of... Oh, that's a devious horn pull.
Yeah.
I think that's also just the nature of a war of this extent that's gone to this 35th track, where your options are limited because you have played so many tracks already in this game.
Yeah, you really just have to go deep into your pocket to see what tracks you can pull out at the end here to try to make a move. And Pickley getting hit out of first, but Waterloo's still holding a 2-3-4, and it looks like they were holding a blue shell. Green gonna be able to drop out of it though, but
Poor Pickley, dude.
Yeah, Pickley's having it rough, and Waterloo also looks like they're in bottom 3. So if they don't make something happen here, never mind, they made something happen here with that
They got
shock.
everyone after set and dodged somebody.
Yeah, now this could honestly be exactly what Waterloo needed, and now they're now they're top 3.
I don't know how long Inguy's going to be able to hold on to 3, as, yeah, he's already lost it. But first place at Shrooms, unless they get ghosted, you're guaranteed 1. Oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah, Pickley's
okay,
gonna be able
that
to
should still be top 2 Waterloo. That is a 12.
Oh,
It's
1,
1,
3,
3,
4,
4, 6.
6.
Okay,
That's a 9-12. Yeah, the last place does hurt a bit, but that's
a gain.
good. On FIU's track pick, you will take a gain like that. Don't know how much of a gain that is. It's plus 10.
Oh boy. But what if it's overtime?
There is a possibility that it does go into a tiebreaker, but it's gonna come down to this. Waterloo needs a big race, and FIU needs to stop Waterloo from getting any more
I think if
momentum.
FIU gets like 1 and another spot in the top 6, it might be over. But they need, I don't know. If they can stay out of bottom 3, they for sure win.
Yeah. Ooh.
And here we see the 36th track in Division 1 finals going to Wave 6. Is it going to be Cove or Weibo? It's going to be Weibo.
I personally love like Race 36 Weebos because there's just so much there's just so much. I didn't want to say aura because of how that word is, but I will just say there is so much aura around having a Weibo race 36.
Well, it's gonna coming down to this. So, I mean, and like we said, if you're FIU, your priority here is damage control. You just hold your spots together as long as you can. And if you recognize that Waterloo has all tops, this track is 3 minutes long. You can go for shot.
Yeah, I mean, you have so much time here to make a decision on how you want to play this track. Like, Green getting hit up by that is not ideal, but again, you have so much time. You can essentially make your game plan while lap 1 is going on, just because of how long this track is.
Also, there are coins everywhere, so comebacks are very, very easy to come by. So even though Green did get hit out early, it's still very entirely possible that he finishes this race in 1 on the City Tripper.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the City Tripper is the way to go, but Waterloo looks like they're in top 2 right now, but it looks like FIU is going to start to slow down to probably go for a shock. But, FIU is still, looks like they're still 3-4-5, so, and Blue Shell is out.
It's going to come down to, does one of the Waterloo players in the back have shock, or does someone in the front have horn? I don't think they have shock. They might pull it here. Okay, they didn't have it, so it is now just Waterloo in 1. Oh no, they're still in 2.
Oh,
top 2, 5, 7.
Yeah, it's still. I believe it's still. Yeah, Waterloo is bottom 2 right now, so they really need to make a push here at the end.
Yep.
That top 2 is not going to be enough.
3 bills in play. Pickley's holding on, hiding his dodge. Yeah, anticipating he's going to be forced into it here.
Yeah, top 2, 4, 5. It's still a very strong position for Waterloo, but
that's a great pull.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yep, because now you can traffic cone. You can force the FIU players behind you to respect your presence. Oh my God, Pickley with the demon. Second blue, but that's not going to make as much of a difference.
Yeah, but these bottom 2 players of Waterloo need to make a push to go in the front because I don't know if it's winning if they still have bottom 2, but it's gonna be very close.
Oh, it's coming down to the wire.
Yeah, 2 bills in play and a star is very close.
I just checked. Top 4, bottom 2 is
plus 6. No,
and Pickley gets hit out.
Oh no!
Is that it?
That might be it that might be an FIU win.
And Snowbird got hit out too. I think FIU's gonna take it.
That is so rough. Yeah, that's not enough.
That's not enough. Top 2, 7, 8, 10.
Yeah, I think FIU takes it there.
Yeah, that's only a +2.
Yeah.
What a final set.
Wow.
Wow. And even though they managed to slow down Diego's incredible pace at the beginning, the FIU composition just held together. They got those mid spots. They pressured Waterloo, and it was enough. Your
Yeah.
Division 1 champions, the FIU Panthers.
Yeah. I mean, they just played extremely well at the end. You know, they needed to lock it down, and they did exactly that. Even with Waterloo being so much top presence, with I think it was top 3-5 for a lot of lap 3, they just managed to hit out Pickley at the end, and I think that's really what did it for them.
Yeah. And it's kind of tough to assume everything that went on in the race because, again, we only have the 2 point of views, and Green was kind of stuck in comeback mode the entire time. But man, that was a great set. I would not have wanted anything more than that for D1 finals.
Oh yeah, that was one hell of a performance from both of these teams. But you know, congratulations to FIU for winning D1. That was very intense.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to get a brief interview with
Hello,
the FIU captain.
Hello, ladies
Hello,
and
Ted Bear.
gentlemen, watching and everyone in between. Holy smokes, was that a match? That was so insane. I want to say good games to Waterloo, to Pickley, to Iona, to Ingite, Spoon. Hey there, Milk. They are such phenomenal opponents, man. We could not have asked for a better pull. We could not have asked for a better pull. That was immaculate. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, seriously.
I hope that was fun to
huge shout-
commentate.
Shout out to Waterloo. They were.
Yeah,
they
that
were
was
great.
an
Hi,
incredible finals match to both watch and to commentate on. Wow. I guess. Well, congratulations aside, as that was a phenomenally played set, and congratulations on the first place CKL. You guys are officially the best. Talk about those last couple races as Waterloo started to chip away at your lead in Game 3. What's going through your guys' head?
In my head,
Well,
I super
Go ahead.
Super MK. What was going through my head is, listen, we have a really big lead, right? As long as we could just manage it, right, get those mid spots and lower it by a little bit.
Oh my FIU.
We'll be
my
fine. I
God,
guess
guys.
with the FIU invasion, they're just phenomenal opponents. So we were just trying to hold on as best we can. It was so quiet too. Like it was so silent. We were all locked in. I can't believe we pulled it off. I'm
definitely a
so
little
proud of my
nervous
guys.
Those last 2 or 3 races for sure.
I'm gonna need some of you guys to check your heart
Okay,
rates because they're
fine,
probably
man.
going through the roof
I
now.
can't
I can
believe
tell
right
you,
now.
I can tell you my Fitbit.
tell you,
I can tell you my Fitbit. I'm at 143.
I can tell
It peaked
you-
about 151.
Ted definitely
I fell
screamed a good
off.
bit.
I
Ted definitely
fell
screamed a
off.
good bit.
I fell off on Weibo when I was like in 6 lap 3, and I was like, if I just costed this game, I'm gonna like just delete the Discord. I'll crash out like I don't know. I don't want to name names. Certain
You guys-
Division 6
you guys
crash out in
heard
finals.
Ted after that last race, though. That was crazy.
I want to say, since they're all here, thank you to each and every single one of my teammates, man. Milkshake, you've been there with me since the beginning. You're going to be the captain after this semester. This is my last match as captain. This might be my last CKL match ever. And the fact that we won, I can't believe it. Nick, you were there from Season 2 onward. You were amazing as a rookie in Division 3. You started the game when Diego wasn't home and we needed you. Thank you so much. Diego, speaking of the devil, Nick found Diego in the chem building randomly during his final exam in the winter, and it was a crazy pull. I mean, if you look at our high div player, we have
Yeah,
Shu,
Diego-
who started before
Diego suddenly
CKL,
appearing.
Diego, Green, Gank. Green, I somehow convinced you to apply. I somehow convinced you to apply to the school. Thank you for coming. Gank, you transferred in as a senior. This is also your last game. I'm so glad we won it, man. Thank you for being my
bro.
teammate. Thank you for coming in, bro. And Super, the ultimate glue guy, came in at the last second last season. when Rex left, dropped 27 versus Michigan, and look at him now, man. What a great improvement you've had. This is my as my last thing as captain. I'm so proud of all of you guys, man. Thank you so much.
They
I-
did.
Yeah, no, phenomenally played, you guys. Wow. I guess I don't know. I'm struggling to think of some questions. Angle, you got
I
one?
don't blame you. I
don't
don't blame
blame
you at
you.
all. We're
Yeah.
talking advantages. I do really want to say thank you again to Waterloo though, because like they
Yes,
were really
phenomenal.
they were really great to play against. Like
Yeah,
they were
they
actually
were
they
the
tried their
best
hardest.
opponents.
They tried our hardest. They brought out everything we could possibly have done. Like it was crazy. We could not have asked for like a better opponent there.
Yeah. I mean, again,
Not saying
Yeah,
anyone in
that's fair,
D1
but
wasn't great.
Oh,
Everyone
no, everyone in
D1
D1
played
was
great.
phenomenal. Everyone in D1 was phenomenal, but Waterloo especially.
Yeah, I mean, again, just congratulations to your phenomenal performance there. I guess
Thank you, Angle.
I guess I'll ask this question. I think after the end of match 2, when you guys did drop a game to Waterloo, how did you guys like reset your mentality going into game 3 to kind of ensure that you would come out strong and take the inevitable win in game 3?
I mean, to be honest, we already knew what we were doing before going in. Like, we already knew we had all our tracks. We didn't know like and we just communicated and we got the win.
Well said.
It just happened to work out. We recouped after that match too because we were fumbling a
I
good bit.
gotta
but we
personally
brought it
ask
back.
because I'm mildly upset that you guys picked Rock and didn't let me cast it. So obviously you guys did a little bit of research and prep for
Oh,
the team.
of course.
Oh,
we
yeah.
we know Waterloo is infamous for Rock, so we figured we have to pick it while we're up ahead. And we can't let them get the advantage over us on that track. They pick it way too much over us.
I do got another
Yeah.
question. So I noticed in game 3, we saw a switch onto a city tripper. So is there any strategy to the city tripper, or was it just like a good luck
Listen,
vehicle?
the pizza bike is like infamous for being like the best combo of the game, actually secretly. So
Oh
I actually
really?
get
Oh
magical
yeah.
powers. I bump into less walls whenever I use it, so like maybe I thought like the placebo would work. Definitely didn't. But I mean, forever the pizza bike.
I mean,
Great.
you did win, so it
Yeah.
I guess it worked.
Yeah.
It's true.
Dude, they were hating on the pizza bike too. I was like, nah, but you guys gotta trust me, man.
That was
I
insane.
don't think I've ever heard it called the pizza bike, but I don't
No.
think I can call it anything else from now on.
Dude,
Yeah.
Pizza bike.
pizza bike, man.
Yeah, we're coining that.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I guess before we wrap up here, anyone got some last words? And Ted Bear, I'm not letting you talk for 7 minutes.
I didn't have a last word, but sure.
Go ahead. May as well let you
Nah, if
finish
anyone
it.
else wants to go first, again, thank you to Waterloo. Thank you to everybody that watched. Thank you to the community for such a wild ride. This is genuinely so amazing.
And thank you, my mom, for watching my streams. Love you.
Yes, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you,
Yeah.
Eleanor. Thank you, Jackson.
Shout out Super Mom for watching his Volt Switch Wars too.
Oh yeah.
Well, hopefully we can keep this momentum going into MK World now, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Because next fall we're gonna have a new game to play on and a new format. So I don't know. Some of you guys looking forward to that, or thoughts on
Oh, of
the
course.
future of Mario Kart?
Of course, I'm super excited to see all the tournament formats that will be coming up for that game. I'm very excited.
I can't wait to drop $80.
I can't wait to drop a little more than $80.
Oh, it's gonna be more. It's gonna hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but it's gonna be awesome. Anyways, thank you, FIU, for joining us for this interview, and once again, congratulations on the phenomenal season. Finally getting that D1 banner, and I believe this is something Tedber mentioned. You guys are the first team to get 2 gold banners in CKL.
Second,
Technically?
UCSD got
Oh,
Silver
right,
Week
UCSD.
1 and
You're
Season
right,
2.
you're right. Okay.
Great company to be a part of. I
Yeah,
love
that-
Waluis. Waluis is a phenomenal captain, and the team is great. To join that company is crazy.
Man, I can't go one final without spreading misinformation. But
Okay, we
not
still love it.
information. Reminder for the CKL community that staff applications are open and they will close on the 20th. So if you are at all interested in being league staff or joining our media team, please reach out and apply. We would be happy to consider your applications. And be sure to stay tuned because we still have some divisions that have some primetime matches. I know D2 finals will be next weekend. D4
Woo!
finals are on the table. We may
Oh,
have a
yeah.
stream up for those. Keep an eye out. Division 5 finals still have to happen. I believe Division 6 and 7 still have their finals. And obviously Division 3 finished up today. So congratulations again, FIU for the Division 1 champions. Shout out Texas State for the Division
Thank
3
you, thank you.
champions. And thank you to all of our viewers for tuning in to this amazing finals set.
Whew. Hell yeah!
Thank you.